Hello and welcome back to a brand new episode of the Pick a Side podcast. My name is Joe Moran and I'm here with River Brown, Andrew Velez, and this is now episode 213. In this episode, we're going to give our NBA awards predictions, our take on the Bojan trade, Ime being suspended, reacting to ESPN's top 100 players list, and Ben Simmons' interview with JJ Reddick. And we have Pick a Side P with us. Pierre the plug. You know,
throw some respect on his damn name.
Hey, much love, man. First and foremost, I got to get that cheers up. A big toast to y'all. I told y'all I was going to do it. I saw y'all join. Y'all finally joined the network. Big steps in the right direction. What is it called? Blue Wire Network?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Blue Wire.
Blue Wire. Shout out to Blue Wire for picking up my boys, man. Long time in the works. More to come, man. Shout out to my boys, man. I'm happy for y'all, man.
We appreciate it, man. You know, you
got. I really fuck with y'all. You know what I'm saying? We ain't even met yet, but as far as podcast people that through the wire know, y'all up there for me, man.
Let's go.
Appreciate
y'all up there. Y'all some real ones. So I can't wait till we finally do meet. But I'm happy for y'all, man. Good shit. Then toast to my boy Drew. I told him before the show. I see him doing the school shit.
Thank you, bro. Thank you. I
You just got your hands blessed.
Facts, I did.
What does that mean?
Basically, it's like the second to last step of nursing school.
So basically, like you getting baptized.
My hands for nursing, essentially.
That's tough.
It means that he's licensed to like.
No, that's not what it means. It just essentially is just like a regular ritual.
I need you to do me a favor.
Okay.
I'm stepping into a new chapter in my life.
Okay.
And being as if we're officially walking into stardom, I need you to start calling me Rivio.
Can you stop with this?
No, for real. No trolling. You gotta start calling me River Brown. I need you to start.
I just call you Riv though.
All right, Riv is cool too.
Austin Rivers.
Rivio, you're just swag jacking Dirkio. That's really what you're doing.
So what?
No, you gotta be you. Riv is cool.
All right, but
hey Joel, toast to you too. I be seeing you do your own little thing. Who that be with?
It's the game day.
Shout out to game day, man.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate it. You know, you guys laid the blueprint, just following what you guys laid out, man.
No, much love, man. Y'all keep killing. Rivio. I'm gonna
need
need you to start.
Yeah, that shit sounds.
You just go give him a cheers for coming up with a name.
I'm gonna need him to start branching off, man. Doing some hood politics shit.
Facts.
Yeah, good. That shit sounds. Rivio.
Rivio is a fire name, but Dirkio.
That's what I'm saying. Dirkio Schmerkio.
Yeah, but that's Dirkio Smirkio in the music industry. I'm Rivio in the sports industry. You know what I'm saying?
You could just be Riv.
Shout out to Joel too, who on vacation.
Big facts.
Yes, sir. He's in the Bahamas. That's why he's not on this episode. He would have loved to talk about this Ime thing.
I don't know if he would have loved it. I don't know if he would have
it.
loved it, but he definitely would have liked to share his 2 cents.
Yeah, he's in the Bahamas right now. We were gonna originally do like a Western Conference prediction show, but because he's in the Bahamas, we're gonna wait for him to get back, then do the predictions for the East and the West. Now, Pierre, I have a question for you because we recently partnered with this app called Mojo. They're like a sports stock market, so you can invest in certain players. Right now, they only have NFL players, but this is an NBA pod. So in your opinion, I want to ask you, if you were to invest into any NBA player, who would it be?
Keldon Johnson.
Keldon Johnson right now, why is that?
Because the Spurs traded DeJounte and he's next up.
That's facts.
Just a bunch of opportunity. I got a bunch of second-year players, too, like James Bouknight. I think James Bouknight got to get some go. James Bouknight got to get some go. Jalen Noel with the
I love Jalen Noel's game, yeah.
With the Timberwolves as well. But out of all of those guys, I could see Keldon Johnson really – it's going to be a make or break for – not I don't want to say make or break, but since there is no DeJounte, a lot of expectations and responsibility going to fall on the shoulders, and it's going to be interesting to see how he handles it. But I think when you look at his season last year, there's room for him to show some extreme growth. But it's either going to go up, it's going to stay the same, or it's going to drop because DeJounte did create a lot of those corner threes that he loves. So it's going to be interesting. But I would say Keldon Johnson.
One more question. DeJounte Murray or D'Angelo Russell, please answer the question.
Hey, I saw that, and I'm not even going to answer that question.
Because it's D'Lo, I know.
My boy disappointed me so much saying D'Angelo Russell.
What?
Come on.
No, you know what? I'm not surprised you say that, P, because I saw this through the wire clip a while ago, and it was D'Lo slander. So I'm not surprised.
I mean, it's the only
Who was slandering D'Lo?
I wouldn't say slander, but I would say like D'Lo. How many players are we taking over D'Lo? And there were some names that I didn't agree with. I don't remember it from the top of my head, but I knew that I was like, oh no, I think D'Lo's better than that guy.
Interesting fact about Pee Wee: D'Angelo Russell is one of my guys. Like
he's one of your guys. Okay.
Ohio State D'Angelo Russell was one of my favorite players.
How
like
convenient.
I fuck with.
He's no longer that. I feel.
I felt like D'Angelo Russell had one of the worst circumstances entering the league, coming in with Kobe, farewell tour that kind of fucked him over, and he had Byron Scott as his head coach, who was just on some stupid shit.
And what about him being a snitch, bro? Come on,
the Nick Young shit was just unfortunate. Dan being traded, and boom, he went off to the Brooklyn Nets, became an all-star. Then they got to pop him to get KD and Kyrie, which I don't blame them for, and then he got to go with this Warrior shit. So I like D'Angelo Russell, but he's not better than DeJounte Murray. It's not even a question.
You don't think right now with D'Lo in Minnesota with Rudy
like
Gobert, like this is okay. If I don't have a problem if you think DeJounte's better, it's whatever. I'm not gonna get into.
You
it.
don't have a problem.
No,
I don't have a problem.
Last time we spoke about it.
No, I had a problem with the argument you were laying out. You were saying the reasoning for why he was better to you was because D'Lo underperforms in big time moments like the playoffs when DeJounte doesn't have
was that your
those
main
moments.
argument? I don't think that was your main argument.
But that's unfair.
That was a big part of it.
No, what happened
He's been in a playing position and he's been horrible.
What happened was we were going back and forth, and then me and him just started spewing out a bunch of bad things both of them did.
Correct.
So the first thing I said was, well, he was just dog shit in the playoffs.
He was
and then
ass.
he brought up the play-in. That's what happened.
With Rudy Gobert this year is going to have a great year.
DeJounte never played with a Karl Anthony Towns before.
He played with Kawhi.
He wasn't that good.
The DeJounte that played with Kawhi isn't the DeJounte now.
That's fair.
We actually made a bet. Who's going to average more assists per game this upcoming season, D'Lo or DeJounte? What do you think?
D'Lo, because DeJounte shares responsibilities in the backcourt with the assist leader, one of the assist leaders in Trae Young. So that's just unfair to DeJounte.
Yeah, you guys should have never took that bet. I told you,
You
I
don't
was
think
robbing
so?
you.
Even though DeJounte just averaged
you.
more assists this past season than D'Lo ever has?
He averaged more assists because he was dominating the ball.
Let me give you a caveat.
The ball in Atlanta, but he's definitely going to have the rock.
I want to say this.
Not
one
more
thing.
than D'Lo's going to have in Minnesota.
Trae Young this offseason has spoken about him practicing playing off ball. He was practicing with Steph Curry. And I think DeJounte Murray in the Trae Young list minutes, he's going to be able to cook up
9 assists per game.
He can.
I think D'Lo's averaging. I think D'Lo's averaging a smooth 8 this year.
DeJounte can get 8.
I hope so, because like I said, I love the D'Angelo Russell, and if he don't come with it, it's going to be a bad look. So
DeJounte got 2 lob threats. He has DeAndre Hunter, Bogdanovich, floor spacers.
But Trae Young dominates the ball.
Trae Young's going to play off ball this year.
Okay, let's hope that happens.
He honestly should. Like, obviously, you want Trae Young. He's the best player on the team.
I think DeJounte averages a smooth 6 assists per game.
No way.
What do you mean? No way.
His points must go
for
up.
his career.
Facts. He's right about that.
Not really.
He'll get 20.
All of his numbers could go down
You
because he's
what
in a
you
better
got against
situation.
DeJounte is what I want to know, because this ain't my
He
first
went to the
time hearing
Hawks.
you talk away.
That is what it is. He
went to the Hawks.
You
'Cause
think
if he was
that?
on
You
the
think
Knicks,
I don't
he
like
wouldn't be
DeJounte
saying
because he
this.
went to Atlanta?
DeJounte Murray without Spurs.
You have tweets out of you wanting him on the Knicks, and you got caught red-handed in 4K.
Would you have wanted D'Angelo Russell or DeJounte Murray on the Knicks?
Honestly,
Murray, he fits your culture.
man, no, DeJounte. But
Yeah,
I was
exactly.
never a big fan of DeJounte with the Knicks because of the fit with Randall and
You needed
RJ
a point
Barrett.
guard, though.
But he can't
Desperately.
shoot, and we don't have.
I love
spacing.
DeJounte Murray. He's
Me
just
too.
one of them ones.
He is a cheat code of a point guard in 2K.
I believe he's
Yeah,
fast as
people
shit.
pulled
He
up
is.
that people pulled up that tweet of mine because I called DeJounte a cheat code of a point guard.
Yeah, they cooked you.
But I was talking about 2K. Like, I didn't make that clear. And people were just like, oh, you called him this. And I'm like, oh, in 2K, yeah. Before we get to NBA awards, just shout out to you, P. I got your Rich Vision.
Yes,
What are
you
you
caught
on
me
right
off guard
now?
with that, bro.
Yeah, collab with Champion.
You have a
Much
collab?
love, bro. Much love. Yeah, man. Some slight.
You didn't link me.
So,
Some slight. I linked that shit for a week straight. I'm not trying to hear that shit.
On what app?
on Twitter, on Instagram.
On Twitter.
yeah,
I can't
facts.
see, bro. You get too many. I don't know. I can't just see a link. You get too much going on, bro. You know how I get. You liked one of my picks that I posted 2 days later. That's how I know it's the same. It goes the same way. You see shit like
yeah,
I see
bro.
shit like.
That's a fact.
So you know,
yeah. I'm glad you know that. I'm glad you didn't think I was on your profile. Look at you know what I'm saying? 2 days late.
Because
I bet niggas be like, damn, was he in my profile just scrolling through all my picks?
I know that's weird. I don't think you did some shit like that.
You got a big head, but I don't think it's that big.
Yeah, that's weird to say.
Bro, I'll be in tune with the merch. I feel like every single podcast when I debut like a brand new shirt, there's always comments like, "Where'd you get that shirt from?" I put Driv on to a creator that is really dope. His name is like
Jay, underrated
like
guys.
Jay Edits. Like he makes like cool ass graphic tees.
You found him on IG, right?
Yeah.
Word.
And I just like buy all his drops.
Y'all up on Whack Jumper?
Never heard of it. What is that?
Me either.
Fat fucker Whack Jumper. Look him up on Instagram. He do the graphic tees. He might send y'all some shit. He be sending us boxes and shit for through the wire.
Oh shit, for real. I'm gonna def check him out.
Yeah. That's my homie.
On to the
blowing up,
NBA.
too.
On to the
Jumper
NBA
official?
awards.
Yep, I was found him. Yeah.
How much followers?
21.6K.
Yeah, he got a lot.
Pee-wee,
There you
Kenny
go.
Beecham.
Shout out to
Malik Monk and them niggas be wearing his shit.
Yeah, 4 p.m. Oh, that's for me. Pardon me.
How's it look?
Yeah, that's good. It's good. It's good. He got a Jordan Poole shirt. He has a.
Hey, you know what's funny too?
I need this.
What's funny?
I was on Instagram and this girl popped up on my shit. And so I had clicked and it said real follow. I'm like, you know,
I knew where he was going with that.
I'm a married man, so it ain't no worries. It ain't no shit
good.
like that.
I just knew where you was going. I knew it was going to be me. It's always me, bro.
It's just funny because I was just like, and then, you know, I think I should say she from Jersey. So I'm like, oh shit, you know what I'm saying? I hope it ain't, you know what I'm saying? I hope it ain't nothing crazy.
On to the NBA awards. So MVP, DPOY, MIP, Rookie of the Year, Sixth Man of the Year, and Coach of the Year. Let's give our predictions for these awards, and let's start with the most decorated award, the Most Valuable Player Award. I'll start with you, Drew.
I mean, it's pretty simple. It's got to be Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Oh my!
I mean, last year he was dominant.
Can we get a different?
No, you can't get a different one because it's the correct answer.
You said it last year.
And he would have won if he would have played more games. Like, let's just be honest. Giannis Antetokounmpo was Jokic, and deserved. He had the record for highest PER in the season. Jokic was absolutely
Giannis was in third. Second. He was in third, right?
No, he was in third, yeah. Embiid was in second, I'm pretty sure. But Giannis Antetokounmpo is the best player in the NBA, and that's just a fact. The best two-way player in the NBA as well. Giannis Antetokounmpo is the most dominant player in the NBA. There's a strong chance that he could lead the NBA in points this season, be amongst the leaders in rebounds, and still be a candidate for Defensive Player of the Year. Giannis is going to be a member of one of the highest seeded teams in the Eastern Conference as well, and that's only going to bode well with the MVP voters. I mean, what else is there really to say? Giannis is that guy.
I have a question. So remember how we were talking about before how the Defensive Player of the Year award should gravitate away from big men? Yeah. Does that same knowledge affect Giannis too or no?
Not really, because yes, his perimeter defense is not as great as some might say, but even still, he can come out there and play defense.
I don't think it should affect his DPOY candidacy.
Just quick question. For me, I'm going wild card pick. I ain't picking no safe pick. I could have picked Luka. I could have picked Giannis. I could have went the Joker. But I'm going – this is the same guy that's going to win Comeback Player of the Year also.
Well,
I'm going Kawhi.
There's no such award, but fine.
Yeah. Well, this is how I feel about
okay.
it. I'm going MVP. I'm going Kawhi.
I think he's going to play enough games to win the award?
I think all he has to play is 65 to 70 games.
Do you think he does that?
I think
he hasn't done that in years.
I don't care. I don't.
Okay.
I'm going to go with the wild card pick. I think Kawhi has – I know Kawhi is the most quietest guy in the world, but I think he's seen everything that he has needed to see. I think he's seen the little ESPN stupid-ass list. He's seen people put Tatum over him. He's seen people disrespect his name and forget – they put him 11th. He's seen the disrespect. I think, as you can see from the pictures, he got a lot bigger. He's been working on his game.
His thighs are thick.
Facts.
Ready for 5-on-5 basketball. I think he will definitely come back this year and prove a point. So I got my boy Kawhi winning MVP.
You think he sees it? He doesn't have social media.
That doesn't mean he has agents who have social media.
I don't know if they're actively telling Kawhi like, yo.
I'm gonna say they are.
And also,
create
it's
that
not,
fire in him.
We're gonna talk about it later, but it's not like they disrespected him crazy. He missed an entire season.
Doesn't
He's
matter.
Still the
There
12th
isn't
best
10
player
basketball
according-
players in the world better.
I
than
don't
him.
disagree with you.
There isn't 8.
I don't disagree with you.
So I just think the real best two-way player in the league is going to win MVP.
Drew did say Tatum was better than Kawhi.
And so did
You
you.
didn't.
And we
You
both
back-
should stand on that.
You back
gonna be
that
facts.
crazy. It's all right. Yeah, I took the L, respectfully.
Did we?
In that argument, I think I won. Convincingly.
People
I'm
think you
rocking
won.
with Kawhi.
People think you won
Well,
because
I mean-
that's the safe answer.
Tatum panicked in the finals, so I think that helps my case.
So, Pierre, you have Kawhi as your MVP
Tatum's
as
the
well?
Larry Bird
No,
award
no,
winner.
no, no.
Some respect
Kawhi
on
with
his
Tatum.
name.
Kawhi
Nah,
with Tatum,
because he came on the show and was calling us out on that a while ago too. So
Yeah, I was.
it's not crazy.
my
It really
MVP
isn't crazy.
It's not crazy. It's not crazy. It's fast, but it's not crazy.
Mm-hmm.
My MVP is Luka Doncic.
I like it.
Safe pick again.
I mean, what's wrong with it though?
But the reason I'm picking Luka is because I picked Luka last year and the year before, and I'm not gonna miss my pick. He gonna win MVP.
It's inevitable. You're gonna be
He
right
gonna win
eventually.
MVP. He gonna win MVP for sure. I'm like you though, Riv. I don't like to go with the same typical, but I had to get Luka. It just felt like the stars could be potentially aligning. I've been big on the Trae Young MVP qualities in his game. Steve Nash, Steph Curry, and now Trae Young. There's certain qualities he got. I don't know if the DeJounte thing gonna help him or hurt him though, because DeJounte is gonna take some shit away. So we gonna see. But I'm gonna go with Luka. I'm gonna go with
It's
Luka.
all right, because I picked Steph like 3 years in a row.
Let me just tell you this, Riv.
What's up?
Kawhi has not played 60 games. Well, he played 60 in 2018. He has not played the 65
Mhm.
since 2016. He played 74.
I understand.
Yeah, that's a wild. That's a wild.
I'm saying
pick.
a
I
lot
wasn't
of. Listen, I'm going wild today. Today's going to be a wild day.
Like, I won't lie, Kawhi did enter my mind because he's going to be on a mission this year.
Well,
but
what's
there's no
wilder,
way.
Kawhi playing 65 games or the Lakers winning 65 games?
That's
Uh-oh.
unnecessary. That was unnecessary. That was
Yeah, I
really
just went
unnecessary.
tie and tie,
Nah, I won't
65.
lie. You absolutely big brain that. Fucker.
I'm kind of like you, Pierre, where I don't want to miss my pick. But I just don't think this is the year for Luka Doncic to win MVP. I don't think that he's going to have the record to win it. I see teams in the West that I think are better than the Dallas Mavericks. Unless Luka goes insane, Jokic efficient PER mode, which I don't think that's his style per se. I don't know how he wins it. My pick for MVP is somebody I picked earlier in the offseason. It's Joel Embiid. I think Joel Embiid's been runner-up for the past 2 years. He reminds me a lot of James Harden, where James Harden for a stretch was finishing number 2 until he finally won that MVP in 2018. I think this is the year Joel Embiid wins MVP. Last year, he led the league in scoring, the first time a center's done that since 1999. He should have won it for Joker's first MVP, but he was hurt.
Yep.
This past one, Philly just couldn't stay up there in the standings. This is the year I think Joel Embiid wins it. Harden's going to be that playmaker. He's going to get him a lot of easy looks. Joel Embiid is my pick.
It's not a bad pick.
That's a runner-up twice. Runner-ups is tough to bet on. They are very tough to bet on.
Yeah, because he might not give a damn no more.
Yeah, he might say, fuck it.
I mean, he seemed to care a lot last season.
And that hurt him when he didn't win last year. He was like, damn.
He wants to win that award bad, and I think he'll win it.
I understand wanting an MVP. I mean, you're the
Let me.
best player
I got
in
a
baseball.
question for y'all. Is there who y'all dark horse? Like who? Not. I don't want to say dark because your dark horse could still be somebody that's prominent.
My dark horse would be Tatum.
That would be my answer too.
Who's the most random person that has a realistic chance to win this award?
Zion Williamson.
Trae
Yeah,
Young.
that's a good answer, Joel.
This man said Zion Williamson.
That's not a bad answer.
That's not
I
a
can
bad
see-
answer.
It's
But
not.
you're questioning Kawhi's health.
I'm not.
But Zion is not a bad answer.
He's young enough that he can play if he's healthy.
Bro,
thing
he's
with-
doing 360 dunks in street clothes.
Fuck, I don't care.
He needs to chill.
My dark horse answer might be my answer from last season.
Who?
Anthony Davis.
Oh my gosh.
If Anthony Davis is healthy, there's no reason
You
why.
said
he can't be.
random.
Yeah.
What if it's
That's not random.
Why?
That's a little bias. A little bit. Just,
Well, you took
is there
Jason
any-
Tatum, who I actually would have said, but
well, I changed it. I said Trae Young.
the only way that is pretty wild.
Trae Young is a random
But I
one.
see it. I see it. If,
He will have the numbers to be an MVP.
but they have to be high in the
Yeah,
in the
so
conference.
it would just have to be like Atlanta goes on like just a tear and they just win a hella games.
Like if Anthony Davis is 2020 Anthony Davis, he could be right there in the MVP conversation. But we haven't seen.
But they would have to be good.
Which that's
the only thing.
Hey, it's the king and AD. You never know.
We're saying random. I would say my dark horse to win it.
Yeah,
which is
random.
not. I'm gonna pick
Anthony
two.
Davis
So
is perfect.
my dark horse and a random player. The dark horse for me, if I had to pick another player, it would be Kevin Durant. I think the Nets this year are on a mission.
So random.
And I know
I
it's
thought
not
about him as my answer,
but I think KD would be my dark horse, but a random player, Karl Anthony Towns. Just
I was
randomly.
about to ask that question. Just say hypothetically the Timberwolves took off or the Cavs took off. What two players could represent those teams as their MVP?
Anthony Edwards.
It would-
And
No, I think Cat would be
Cat
for the
and
Wolves
Garland
right now.
for me.
Anthony Edwards
Garland,
needs to be
yeah.
their best player if they really want to
Not
be
in the regular
what,
season.
I just think in totality, in my opinion.
The
I
way
just feel
Rudy
like
can
Cat
uplift
right
that
now-
defense,
Yeah, I think just right now, Cat is in his prime versus Ant. He's growing still. I think Cat is like here now. So if he averages 28 and 14, which he can do, and the Timberwolves are the first seed in the West,
Do you think he averages 28 this year?
I think he definitely averages 26 and 12, like what he's been doing
Yeah.
for the past couple
hey,
of years.
the way he talked about his offensive game, he better. And I saw y'all talk about that too.
That was crazy. Did I cap? Is he top 10 in the league offensive right now?
No.
No. The answer is no. So I don't want to hear this.
So
all the
for
time.
his size, he's a very unique
But see,
and rare player.
when you said that, I laughed. But I mean, for his
It's facts.
size,
It's facts.
shit.
I would say my dark horse would probably be Trae Young.
I think he's a better offensive player than Anthony Davis.
It's not a bad take.
It isn't because he could let that thing go.
He also has really good ball handling ability.
He does. It's okay.
Oh, he has a
AD's
little
got
back.
some handle.
AD has handles.
He does.
I just hate when he does that stupid ass.
Nah, it kills me.
tween,
It kills
turn
me.
around.
Yeah,
But
no,
I, mean,
look-
we
I hate
talking
that
about
shit.
Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, Jason Tatum.
I'm not picking Steph for MVP because I don't think he'll go for it.
I'm talking about scoring talent. Just
Oh
scoring.
yeah. I don't know.
Brandon Ingram is a better scorer than fucking Karl Anthony Towns.
You think so?
It's
Is Brandon Ingram a dark horse?
I don't think Ingram's a better scorer than Cat.
That's not crazy.
shit.
It looks prettier, but efficiency-wise, Cat he clears them.
Karl Anthony Towns is mad
Efficiency
efficient.
wise, he's not playing the same type of offensive style.
Yeah, but he can shoot better than Bi. Like from three, he can shoot better.
Right,
than
because
him.
he's not playing the same offensive style. He's not a hub for a team. Brandon Ingram is a hub.
Yeah, but
he's-
Cat
he's
can shoot
creating
off
plays.
the dribble too.
I need him to stop.
Not like Ingram.
Not like
Not
Ingram
like
because
Ingram.
Ingram is a
Hate
more
fucking
he's
big
a
men
more
that do
fluid
that shit.
mover.
That's
But
what I'm
like
saying.
Cat
Like,
from the
Karl
high
Anthony
post,
Towns-
from the elbow. Like, I
Does
just
all
think
that shit
offensively,
translate?
Cat can do more.
Does it translate
To what? They
You
just
know
made
to
the
what?
playoffs.
to the playoffs?
And
When he
they
gets to
lost
the
in the
playoffs,
first
does it
round.
Bro,
translate?
he had a good playoff series. Bro.
Didn't he drop
Brandon
4 points?
Ingram get his same buckets in the playoffs.
Yeah,
Did he
Brandon
drop 4
Ingram
points in the
showed
playoffs?
out against the Suns.
Didn't he drop 4
Yeah, he
points in
did.
the playoffs?
I think, but he still averaged, I think, 22 in the series.
That's so cute. 22 points.
Didn't he have like a 5-point game or am I
I
capping?
think he did. We need to start asking if dudes translate. That's what we need to do. Do these offensive games translate to when it matters? Now, Bi,
Efficiency is overrated, by the way.
we got to see him do it a little bit more. But on his first go around, good job.
Is
You know,
efficiency
good
overrated if you have the volume to back it up? Nah.
Get the job done. I'm a Kobe Bryant fan. Fan.
I
What
don't
was
know.
Kobe supposed to do? Give the ball to Smush? No, shoot that motherfucker.
So
Don't care
Cat,
how many times you miss.
so Cat in the playoffs versus Memphis. Game 1, he dropped 29 and 13.
Good game.
Game 2, 15 and 11.
Okay.
Game 3, 8 and 5.
Eight.
LOL.
That was the 5 that I thought.
Game 4, 33 and 14.
Great game.
Game 5, 28 and 12.
Great game.
And game 6 was 18 and 10.
Up and down.
Mid. In a game you needed to win.
Didn't move
18.
me.
Yes, but I mean that's he had great games though.
He also
He
had
did.
shit games.
No, he had some.
You're talking about him
poopers.
like
8
he
points.
had nothing. Like he didn't do anything.
8 points. What
Defensive
offensive
player-
dog is doing that?
Defensive
Hey,
player.
LeBron-
I mean, there are
LeBron in
players
the
that had
finals
bad
had 8
series, bro.
points.
There are great offensive players that had bad series. Kobe Bryant didn't take a shot in the second half versus the Suns.
That doesn't mean he had
He was
a
down
bad
3-1 and
series.
blew a series.
Can we talk?
Great
can we
offensive
talk
players
about
have done that.
Can we talk about Ingram against a better team?
Yeah.
We could talk.
18,
Yeah,
37, 34, 30, 22, 21. Stop
Were the
playing
Suns
with him.
better than the
And-
Grizzlies?
And these, yeah, they was.
But are you
Yeah,
saying
I
that
don't even-
confidently?
That's not even an opinion. That's a fact. The Suns
Why?
are
Because
better
they
than
were the better seed, or like, were they?
don't that make them better than the Grizzlies?
Not really.
I think the Suns
The Warriors,
are better
the
than
Warriors
Grizzlies.
weren't a higher seed than the Suns. But
We know why.
Probably would have said that the Warriors are a better team than the Suns.
Well, you thought the Suns were better than the Warriors.
I faded that.
Yeah, but you did think that before. You thought
like the All-Star break when they were all world. Yeah.
Okay.
I was never high on the Suns, but I mean, I gotta give them their credit for what they did in the regular season.
No, definitely. Bi had a tougher matchup versus the Suns. He had Bridges was guarding him. Cat.
He was giving his little ass a bucket.
Jaren Jackson Jr. Steven
gets
Adams.
into foul trouble and stuff. I know what you mean though. Yeah, I mean he was cooking Steven Adams.
Mikal Bridges was second in Defensive Player of the Year. He got the second most
Defensive
Player of the Year.
And he got cooked.
First place votes.
Fraud.
He got hella cooked. First series and the second series.
Brandon Ingram does that to people.
You wouldn't do that to Wiggins.
Shit.
I'll tell you that right now.
Ingram will fuck that boy up.
I hope Pelicans play the Warriors. Oh my God. I can't wait.
Is Brandon Ingram a better scorer than Jason Tatum?
He can shoot a mid-range jump shot. That's what the fuck he can do. Tatum can't.
They're about equal to me.
Stop, P. Come on.
Tatum was statistically one of the worst mid-range. How are you a wing and you can't shoot a mid-range jumper?
It's crazy.
It's just weird.
They're about equal to me.
You love BI. You love BI. I respect that.
Defensive player
Jason Tatum too.
of the year. Who's your DPOY pick? I'll start with you, Riv.
Oh, so this year I am gonna play the safe card. No, I'm not gonna play the safe. It's a little bit of the safe card because I've been picking this guy for like 3 years. I'm going Bam Adebayo. He gotta get. It's the same thing with Luka. He gotta get one. There's no way he don't get one. He's the only one.
That's my same pick, bro.
He's the only one in the league that you can definitively say can guard positions 1 through 5. He can do it at an elite level.
Yes.
He's a guy who can also protect the rim. His ability to just control the game with his defense. He's the backbone. I know people love Jimmy Butler for his perimeter defense, but Bam Adebayo is the most important player on the defensive end for the Heat, and he's always anchoring that defense. So I got Bam winning it. Hopefully, they need to give him one.
All right, go ahead, P.
I agree.
You got Bam.
I agree. Everything Riff said times 2.
All right, Joel. I think you and I might have the same pick.
They're gonna pick Rudy Gobert.
You got Rudy?
I do have Rudy.
Yeah,
Gobert.
man. I mean, if
they get that shit to him one more time.
I mean,
one more time.
Why not? He's in a new environment. He's going to be motivated more than ever.
I'm going to lose
He's going to be an integral part of that defensive unit, probably the most important piece to it, especially if Cat's going to be more the offensive mind. Gobert's going to have to hold it down and show his value to the team. It'll be a perfect situation, especially if Minnesota's amongst the top teams in the Western Conference.
You guys don't think, though, like with McDaniels, Anthony Edwards' defense, you don't think they – because, like, in Utah, he was
If they're the number one defensive unit –
well, in Utah,
Gobert's the best defensive player.
Utah, they was though. He was more carrying Utah. With Minnesota, I don't think
they weren't a great defensive unit as a whole.
In the regular season, they were. That's what I'm saying. Like
when Gobert was on the court.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He was the difference. The reason why I think Rudy won is because it was obvious his on-off numbers were ridiculous, and he was backpacking Utah's defense. I don't think he'll have to necessarily backpack Minnesota.
I think he won for more reasons: defensive field goal percentage.
Well, yeah, of course.
Also, look at did Marcus Smart quote unquote backpack the Celtics defense? Nah, as a whole unit, they were amazing.
That's a good point.
Okay.
Rudy's a safe pick.
Marcus Smart almost had me pick Drew Holiday, but I had to go with Bam. But Marcus Smart winning that award opens up the Drew Holiday floodgates to me.
Definitely.
Ironically, Rudy Gobert is my DPOY. Dark horse for me was Draymond Green, if he can play the entire season, or at least the majority of the season.
Mm-hmm.
Most improved player for me is Anthony Edwards, another Minnesota Timberwolf.
I just couldn't see how he would win the award. He'd have to average 27, 28.
He could average 25 for sure.
What did he average last year? 21?
21, yep.
What did Ja go from last season to this season? Was
19
he
20 to 27?
19 to
like
27?
Yeah.
Was
It's like
they messed this award up giving it to Ja because Anthony Edwards and Ja Morant are two guys that should not be
I agree.
In the running for an award like this. Most improved is supposed to be Jeremy Grant type leaps, Julius Randle, when guys are, you know what I mean? Like
Jordan
a number one
Poole.
overall pick winning this award is weird to me.
This
unless
one-
he was
This
a
one kind of
bust.
fell into your lap. Star J. I'm surprised he wasn't the name that you were going to say.
Yeah,
He's
I'm
one of
sorry.
those guys that you're done.
Not for MIP at least. I'm not done with RJ, but for MIP, I see a lot of other candidates. Like Anthony Edwards is my top one.
Uh-huh.
But like Pierre said, this award should be to players that haven't had the greatest start to their careers, and then all of a sudden have this launch pad.
I don't disagree at all.
For me, the dark horse pick, and I mentioned this earlier, is Markelle Fultz. I
Interesting.
think Markelle Fultz, for me, you look at how he ended off the season with Orlando. He was really pivotal to them. His per 36 numbers are off the charts. Orlando this year could be a competitive team, and Markelle Fultz being that lead point guard, I wouldn't. There's a world where he can average 17 and 8, 16 and 8, like around those, like 16 to 18 a game, 8 assists per game, and I feel like for him, that's a gigantic leap from where he was a couple years ago.
For me, I picked Tyrese Halliburton.
Love it. That was
I just think with now the full keys for the season, he's going to be able to run the team. They got some shooting around him. Mathurin, I'm really high on him. I'm going to talk about him a little bit later. Buddy Hield is still there. Miles Turner, they're going to keep him there for the time being. This is going to be Halliburton's team. His ability to play, make, create shots for others, his ability to score. He's a good shooter. So he's going to have all the opportunities. Yeah, he's going to have all the opportunities to score 22 and 10. Like, he's going to have those opportunities there. My dark horse is based off reports that I've seen about the Knicks possibly starting Cam Reddish and RJ Barrett.
Oh, my God.
So my dark horse to win MIP is Cam Reddish, easily. That's the...
You had half of it right when you said RJ and
I'm going to let you say that because this is my dark horse, and if Cam starts, I am picking... Horse.
So you have RJ Barrett.
I actually have my dark horse as RJ, but my most improved player, is Tyrese Halliburton. Okay. I think the opportunity is there for him 100%. But also RJ is in an interesting position because one, he was at that modest 20 points. His 3-point percentage can improve. His field goal percentage can improve. But now he finally has a point guard that can put him in spots to get open. If he becomes a better finisher, which he can be, he works on his right hand, he can definitely get that to 24, 25.
It's just very difficult. Well, it's been done before, but it is difficult for a 20-point per game scorer to jump up tremendously to win that award. And if I'm picking between two 20-point per game scorers and Anthony Edwards and RJ to make that significant jump, I would pick Edwards.
I would too. As much
I understand.
As I love
I mean,
RJ.
Anthony Edwards is just the better basketball player, especially early in his career. You got to go Anthony. But it's not like RJ wasn't drafted and his potential is suddenly just gone now because we see Anthony Edwards and what he's been and what he's been able to do early in his career. RJ has had a normal, steady progression up until this point in this career, being the number 3 overall pick. I wouldn't even say he's disappointed by any means. He's only gotten better.
I'm going to be honest. If he can learn how to finish, he can be at 24, 25
Correct.
points.
His right hand needs to improve.
Easily.
Yeah,
easily. He's getting there.
Yeah.
The hard part is getting there. He can get there. Just got to finish.
Oh, he can get there easily. It's just if he finishes, he can get to 25 points a game.
I can see Tyrese winning MIP. He averaged 15 and 8 last year, but he averaged 17 and 9 in Indiana. If he jumps up to like 22 and 10 a game, he could win it.
The opportunity will be there.
Easly.
He will.
Easily. That's a great
about
pick.
Efficient. Bro was efficient as shit.
Yes. That's a great pick in my opinion. My guy, I already gave him some love. I think was it on camera? Keldon Johnson.
There you go. You did.
Keldon Johnson with the Spurs
20 minutes ago.
Just because of the opportunity. I really love Drew's pick with Tyrese Halliburton.
And Riv. I'll give him his respect.
Did you say that, Riv?
Yeah,
or Drew said that?
What's up?
You said that?
Nah, Riv did say it.
My fault, Riv. I must be high.
I said it second, so that's what you heard.
My bad. Yeah, Tyrese Halliburton's a hell of a pick. Well, I got a name for y'all. This guy's traded. Team that has nobody. Can Colin Sexton go over there and cook?
After averaging 25 a game.
The Jazz have to make the playoffs.
Wait, what do you mean?
They do?
They have to make the playoffs. For him to win most improved player.
Most improved has nothing to do with
does
playoffs.
not.
I mean, low-key, it
about
definitely
you
does play an integral part.
It's about you improving as a player. There's nothing
but
to do with
also,
anything else.
what boded in Julius Randle's favor, on top of him definitely improving, was the Knicks finishing as high as they did in the conference.
Well, that correlated with his stats, but it doesn't necessarily have to be. He doesn't have to make the playoffs. Like he does. I don't think he has to make.
I feel like awards, unfortunately.
But the problem with Sexton is he already averaged 25 points a game.
Yeah.
So the improvement
on 60 games, man. That was 60 games. I guess it counts.
60 is a good amount.
That's a good amount.
It is.
And it's Utah. We know Colin can score. It's about getting looks for others.
Correct.
Can he do that? Can he
if he improves on his
Can
passing.
he be active on the defensive end? Can he be an efficient? Like his shot diet stinks. So it's like, can that improve in that department? So can he be most improved? Probably not. But can he still improve? Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm always under the. He's a 6 man to me, but I see the opportunity. What if he did give you like 25 and 7?
That's improvement.
With some moments.
If he goes to
If he gives
7,
you the
that's
7,
crazy.
that's improvement.
With some moments.
Yeah.
I mean, because Utah don't have shit.
Nah.
They don't.
They just got a bunch of pieces. I got some shit I like, but they just a bunch of moving pieces. They Jared Vanderbilt, Laurie Marketing, Walker Kessler, the rookie center. Ochai Agbaji, agent Mike Conley, Jordan Clarkson should be moved. Bogdanovich just got moved. They just got a bunch of different shit. So I don't know what Colin Sexton can do over there.
He gonna start
like that. He can find an identity out there for sure.
Let me give you two names right here, and let me know which one you think is more likely to win MIP. These are two teams that we talked about last show, and two players that are in similar positions. They're going to be playing alongside complementary stars. Isaac Okoro in Cleveland. He averaged 8 last year.
Okay.
And Jaden McDaniels in Minnesota.
Jaden McDaniels.
I think McDaniels
What's your
is
answer,
a
bro?
legit MIP candidate.
You can't even say it.
I like both guys.
Jaden.
You can't.
I
mean,
like
rightfully
both.
so.
But I think
No. Not rightfully so. Let me take that back. I mean that in the sense of Jaden McDaniels.
I like Jaden McDaniels.
No, I'm glad.
Oh.
Liking Isaac Okoro, this is where you
think
lose
Okoro
me.
he has a shot. He has the best playmakers on the court. So
There's so many
like
people.
Isaac
in front
Okoro
of him.
averaged 8, McDaniels averaged 9. If both of them jump to like 14, 15 a game,
No,
That's too
not
heavy.
happening.
That's too heavy.
if Isaac Okoro becomes a more respectable 3-point shooter,
What's that in your opinion? What percentage? do you have to get
36
he actually shot really well from 3 to end the year.
in the corner? Yeah.
I need him to be all around. Like corner threes.
That's the Keldon Johnson.
Do you remember when we
treatment.
went to go see him in
He
Barclays?
bricked everything.
It
was all in the corner too. Yeah.
That was nuts.
I'm gonna say Okoro just because of the playmakers around him. I'm gonna say that, but I think they're both at the same case because they're both great defenders. McDaniel's a better defender. Both of them need to work on their offense.
The word great around pretty loose.
No, you just don't know basketball.
Really?
That's what it is.
Okay.
Because Okoro is a great fucking defender.
I guess I deserved that after saying you had to go watch the tape for football last show, so that's fine.
That's fine. We're even.
Yeah,
You need to watch basketball.
What do you mean? I do watch basketball. That's why I can tell you Okoro's not great at defense.
Just because you can't guard Kevin fucking Durant.
I'm not saying
doesn't
you
mean
got to
you're not a
guard
great
Kevin
defender.
Durant to be great.
Well, he's a 6'6". He's their 6'6" stopper. Look, he's 6'6".
The only wing defender they have, and
He's great
let's
at
be
it.
hon- Enough.
Okay.
Now they have some other guys, Lamar Stevens, Dean Wade. There's some pretty
Shout out
good
to Lamar Stevens, man.
pretty good defenders.
Stop hating.
I'm
It's a
not
problem.
hating.
You got
Okay,
haterade
now
on
I'm
you.
a hater. Okay.
Yeah.
I think we can breeze by this next award, Rookie of the Year. Does everybody here have Paolo Banchero?
I know he doesn't. Jaden?
Yeah.
I have Paolo.
Jaden?
I have Jaden.
Real. I respect the hell out of that.
Yeah, I have Jaden.
Because that's agenda based, and I'm fine with it.
No,
Because you got a Pistons agenda.
I do.
Yes.
But I think Jaden can. I think Jaden will have a strong
If
chance
Fate
to win
could.
the award. I think he can win the award.
He's in a strong position where he does not have to be the number one. He could chill in that number 2 role, but he get fed from Cade.
Banchero's gonna be he's the obvious pick. He's the heavy favorite. I'm gonna go wild. I'm gonna say Jaden though. I don't even think Jaden would have been the second. He would have been Shet if he didn't get hurt. So, but I'm gonna say Jaden.
Keegan Murray, bro, that didn't enter your matrix.
Fuck no.
What about you, Drew? I know you're a Kings guy this year.
I'm really just focused on Paolo Banchero for Rookie
Yeah,
of the Year.
definitely.
Yeah,
Same.
I'm very locked in on Ivy.
Okay.
I'll watch him.
Now,
Banchero,
Ivy
though.
is mad explosive.
He's gonna have a lot of more highlight plays than Banchero.
Him and Cade definitely is going to be fun to
So.
see.
And if they get into a playing situation, I can see Ivy getting some love. He averages like 15, 16 points.
What do you mean by in terms of the award? Okay.
Because Orlando and Detroit are going to be close to each other like all year. They're going to be very similar in the same sense, competitive teams. So it's going to be interesting.
But Paolo's probably
Shout out to
gonna
the 6-man show, Paulo.
be- Yes, sir.
OD.
Shout out
But
to him.
Paolo's probably going to be the best player on his team, alongside Franz.
That's fair.
Easily.
Now Detroit has Cade and Bojan. I don't think Ivy is going to be better than Bojan as a rookie.
Well, Bojan's going to be relegated to a spot-up shooting role.
No.
Jaden
he's not.
Ivey is going to be better than Bojan.
This season,
Bojan's going to be a
Yes.
spot-up shooter.
this
They're going to
season-
prioritize him more.
They have
He's
to.
gonna have,
Bojan is
you know what I
not
mean?
just a spot-up shooter.
I was
I didn't say he's
he can
not,
create
no,
a
no,
shot,
wait.
create his own shot.
That's no. I'm not saying that's what he is as
Relegating
a
him to
player.
spot-up shooter role is
But
crazy.
they're gonna. You think they brought him in to lock in on him getting buckets?
They need more offensive
I'm
talent.
not
no,
saying
they need
that.
more spacing around
Bro,
Cade and
no doubt.
Ivy to open up
Absolutely.
the floor.
Bro,
That's what I'm saying. He's going to be relegated.
Bojan
to a
can do
spot of-
much more
Bro,
than just spot up
obviously there's
shoot.
going to be
Facts.
possessions where he's spotting up.
OD.
No, it's
But
gonna
to
be-
just say you made it sound like he's going to be PJ
He's not
Tucker
Steve Novak,
on,
facts,
on
or
a
some shit
corner
like that.
not doing
No,
anything
you
else.
two
No,
just
that's
That's what
that
you said.
way.
Relegated
That's
to a
what
spot
you
up shooter role.
said.
I mean, he's
That's what you said.
okay. He's going to spot up more in his career than he's ever done in
more
Detroit.
than Utah with
Yeah.
Conley and Donovan Mitchell.
I'm kind of with Rev on this one.
They're going to
Kinda rib on
prioritize
this
the
one.
rookies, bro. I'm telling you. He's going to be
Some-
more in the
They
some
spot
should
people
up,
get
bro.
to a certain
prioritize it.
age,
However-
it's not about what you can do. It's about how you being utilized. Detroit did not trade for him to come be a featured player in the offense. That's just a fact.
You just need
They got him to space because they have two dynamic guards who they're building around, and they have to prioritize.
Look at the Hornets, right? They needed some type of veteranship. They're going to get Gordon Hayward. They're going to get Terry Rozier. They're still integral parts of their offense.
No,
That's completely different
Bojan
case.
is nowhere near those times.
I'm not offensively.
It's completely different, though.
No,
Bojan
he's nowhere near them.
Why
it
are
was
we
just
talking
LaMelo.
like Bojan?
This is Cade and Ivy. It's different. It was just
Bojan
LaMelo.
is. You telling me Bojan is
Bridges?
a better offensive player than Gordon
What
Hayward?
are you talking about?
Well, you're just saying offensive talent, young
No, I'm
offensive talent.
saying when Bojan going here, they already have a rookie coming in and they have a second-year player. When
but they just
Gordon went
don't
there, it
have
was
the
just
offensive
LaMelo.
talent.
No, I get
No,
that. but
Rozier was there.
Rozier
but
was
Rozier
there.
was like 24, 25. He wasn't a rookie.
But
I know what
in,
you- I know what you
in their
mean.
eyes, like he has the most veteranship out of anyone.
All I'm saying is that Bojan's not going to be relegated to just a spotter, bro.
Oh, okay.
He's definitely going to get his possessions and sets where he has
some.
offensive sets for him, bro.
He'll
Like, you know
get some, but most of his offensive sets are going to be coming off a pin down and shooting the ball. That's going to be it.
I agree.
I don't disagree with you.
So then what
I
is
just
the issue
don't
here?
think he's going to be in the corner all game long.
I didn't. Okay,
That's
a
Is he
why
spot
gonna
up
finish
shooter.
the
Wait,
year in Detroit?
a spot up shooter is not just being in a corner, bro.
What'd you say, P?
Is he gonna finish the year in Detroit?
Listen, get him to
I
the
think
Lakers.
if the Pistons
Get him
by
to the Lakers.
if the Pistons before the All-Star break are actually a legitimate play-in contender, he will. If he's not, he won't.
How much of that do you think he will be true?
accredited to
think
him,
that-
or just
No, do you think that their Pistons are going to be good enough to where they say, let's keep him?
Well, we'll talk about
Yeah,
that
we
later.
will.
We're gonna
We are
have the
gonna talk
Pistons
about it.
topic, so we'll save that a
It's
little
actually
bit.
next.
But Drew,
yeah.
P asked you a question. You think that Bojan is on the level offensively as Gordon Hayward?
Why he wanted to get back to that?
Did he actually say that to me?
No, he actually.
Yes, I
he
did.
actually.
Because you made a face when I said he's not like them.
I mean,
guys.
Bojan Bogdanovic is a knockdown shooter and still has been able to average 18, 19
Yes or
points
no
consistently.
is-
Gordon Hayward, I mean,
Gordon Hayward.
he's
what?
a 3-level scorer. I mean, I got to probably go Gordon because he has multiple facets to his offensive
He's also
game.
a better playmaker.
Yeah. But Bojan's
Gordon
straight
Hayward
a bucket
is
getter
a
too.
better basketball
Yeah,
player.
no
He just
doubt.
hasn't been
Absolutely.
healthy. Right,
Absolutely.
so that
Well, we're
you
talking
coulda answered that in
offense.
you could have answered that in
Hayward's
2
a better
seconds.
offensive player.
You could have
As a
answered that in
whole.
2 seconds.
I did answer in 2 seconds, but I wanted to
No,
give
you gave
Bojan
a
his
spiel,
respect.
boy.
All
He's
right,
a
that's what I got to
3-level
do.
scorer.
He is. I got to sound sophisticated. You know,
Sixth
No,
man.
you
of
always
the
gonna
year.
sound sophisticated.
my
You're
guy.
a smart
My
guy.
guy. Thank you.
Sixth man of the year. My guy is Jordan Poole.
Safe.
His guy. Yeah, this
What
guy.
do you mean? That's my guy for the
That's-
award.
That's my
Did
guy.
I say that's my guy? I just said it's my guy for the award. What's wrong with that?
None of y'all can't text him though.
Oh,
You can text him?
Nah, you did not have to
No, I
stunt on
can't either.
that. I was like, yo, he just stunted.
I was about to go crazy. I was about to ask him like, oh, swing that.
He's about to FaceTime Jordan Poole.
Now, I think I have the same pick as you, Jordan Poole. He's gonna win the award easily. I think. If Westbrook was
Easy.
coming off the bench, I would
thought
have
so
said
too,
Westbrook.
man.
I
I
swear
thought-
to God, I would have said Westbrook.
It's not a lock.
I don't
He's
think it's easy. He wins. Tyler Hero's going to be in the running with
Tyler
him.
Hero's gonna start. I think.
You think he's starting this
Yeah, I
year?
think he'll
for
start
real?
this year.
Okay.
Okay, I like.
If he
that.
doesn't, then we'll get right back to
Mhm.
it.
If he starts, it should easily be Jordan Poole.
Well,
What about
I
Malcolm
didn't say
Brogdon?
Jordan. I got somebody different. Jordan Poole is a good pick though.
Cole
Bogdan
Anthony?
Bogdanovic.
That's a good pick too.
That is a solid pick.
ooh,
But Jordan Poole got this shit in the bag. low-key.
Bogdanovich is he's tough though. He is.
Jordan Poole is legitimately a guy who can average 20 plus a game coming off the bench, like Tyler Hero. He's going to be in the same situation this upcoming season.
Yes.
Except they'll actually be able to compete for each
It
other.
just really depends on like if the Warriors are facing injuries. Like if Clay's healthy the entire year, Steph is healthy, because if they're out for extended periods of time and Jordan Poole now
Right
is a
back in there,
start,
yep.
he's not going to get the award. But if they're healthy and he's coming off the bench the entire year, the majority of the year, I think he'll win it.
Dark
like,
horse
easily.
is Brogdon.
Yeah, that's actually who I
He
have
might
winning the
start
award.
right now.
I don't think he'll start.
If he doesn't, I'll say him.
Because Smart's going to start JB, JT, Rob Will, but you're right. Because
Rob
Rob
Will is
Will's going to
hurt
be
right now.
hurt
That's
because he
what I'm
just
saying.
got the surgery.
Ooh, yeah.
But
But
I
that
think
would
once
be-
he comes back, I think that'll be the regular
That'd be my
lineup.
dark horse.
Yeah.
Brogdon's a good pick. Jordan Clarkson, if he gets traded to Milwaukee, I think look out for him. He can still.
Interesting. Let's hope
jump
that
into the
that's
award.
LA.
Yeah, can he hurry up and get traded?
Yeah, I
Like,
think that's a good one.
Manifest LA.
I think Schroeder is somebody
Stop.
who you can literally. That's a dark
He was
horse,
in
bro.
he was in the running when he
No,
was in
yeah,
OKC.
He's a good player. Why you act like he's whack? He's
He
a
is
good player.
whack.
He's not whack.
He is
He's a
whack.
good
He should have won it that year too.
Yeah,
Montrezl
he's a
Harrell won it
really
over him.
good.
He
He's a
should've
good
won it.
ass player. Like for real.
Maybe he was. I don't know if I'd go as far to say right now.
What's
still.
wrong? What's
He's a
changed?
fine ball player. He's all right.
Well, you sound like a slave on it. He's a fine ball player.
Come on, you're not gonna do me like that. Come on, P. You
A
can't,
fine ball player.
he's all right. Like that's all I'm saying. Like I'm not gonna say more
You were
than that.
excited when you picked him up.
Cause I mean, I'll be
That's-
excited for a bag of shit at this point. To be honest,
That's
with you.
1920s baseball talk.
Yeah,
For
it's a
real, that's
fine
a fine
ball
ball
player.
player right there.
I'm just saying that
Boy,
he's
hit that
an
curveball
average.
out of the park.
You can't say that shit about BP. Come on, man. But either which way, I just think
I like
that
Schroeder.
he's all right. Like he's an average ball player to me right now.
I can see why he's saying he's all right though. He's a Laker fan. If I was a Laker fan, he'd be all right too.
I mean, if I'm a Laker, I've been hoping and praying on a lot of mediocre players to come to my team because we need
Facts.
anything right now.
I'll be honest. You kicking Shooter down while on the show previously, propping the fuck out of Austin Reeves is crazy.
Bro, he's a great defender.
He's a great defender. Okoro's not. Yeah. Get him the fuck
Yo,
out
stop
of
it though. Austin Reeves is lockup.
He's lockup.
He is.
But Okoro's not.
He's not.
You're an idiot. You're an idiot. Like that's the only conclusion I can. You're an idiot because that's fucking nuts, bro. Also, come on.
Throw some respect on
That's
Austin
the
Reeves.
guys you're relying on to get on the perimeter. You would wish you
Man,
had
after
Okoro
getting
right now.
called a slave owner, I'm just gonna fucking take this L.
You'll be all right, bro.
I didn't call you a slave. On
That's
that.
what you just
sounded
said.
like
I
one.
sounded like one. You might as well, man.
You ever seen the Jackie
Fine
Robinson
ball
movie?
players. Wow.
I did. I
Yeah.
did. See it.
Yeah, it sounded just like that.
He's a fine ball player. That's not the first time anyone's ever said that in
Yeah, that's not the first
2022.
time you
That's
said
why
it
I
on the
say
show.
2022.
2022, I think that is the first
No,
time.
it's not.
In 2020, I ain't hear that admitted.
Oh shit.
Last award, Coach of the Year. Now, my Coach of the Year, it was an obvious pick for me.
Based off your tweet, I need to hear it. I need to hear it.
Willie Green.
What? No.
Chris Finch.
No, it's
My
Finch.
Coach of the Year this year is Chris Finch because I believe the Timberwolves will be the first seed in the West this upcoming year.
You gonna make
I
minutes. Go ahead.
I got Chris Finch too, but I don't know about all that first shit.
I think they will be the first seed in the Western Conference.
Are the Wolves better
I got
than
the Nuggets
Pelicans?
as the first seed.
Yeah, they are.
You know,
Easy.
Yes, for me it is.
you know, this is. You're gonna make Minnesota hate me. Man. You just gonna keep doing it, keep doing it. It's just gonna make me retaliate. They ain't getting no fucking first seed, bro.
Why not?
Because there's just a lot of teams better than them, bro.
A lot of teams.
Like who?
Yeah. The Clippers, undoubtedly.
All right.
Yes.
Let's,
The
let's,
Warriors.
let's talk.
Yes.
Okay, let's talk about. The
And I
Clippers.
have Ty Lue. Just for reference out there, I have Ty Lue as my coach.
Let's talk about the Clippers
That's
first.
a fire pick.
This is why I have the Timberwolves first.
Didn't Minnesota's starting five only play like 21 games together?
Not this past year. No.
Okay, just to make sure.
Let's just
different
talk about the Clippers first, then I'll get into the Warriors and whoever else. Can I count on Kawhi not load managing? No. He's going to load manage. Kawhi's, and this is where my opinion is coming from. I'm not saying the Timberwolves are the best team in the West. They'll get the first seed. They'll have the best record because the Clippers will be load managing.
Right.
They care about the playoffs. The Warriors, I can't count on Draymond or Steph playing the entire season. They'll miss some games. And Denver's the only team to me that I think most of their players should play the entire year.
Denver
They're not
should.
going to load manage, and they'll be legit competition to be the first seed. Minnesota, this is a brand new team. They have a lot of pretty good depth, and they're hungry, and they're out to prove a lot of people wrong. The Warriors and Clippers just care about the fucking playoffs.
And what about the Grizzlies
The Grizzlies, I think they're not as good as the Timberwolves.
and the Suns?
The Suns,
'Cause these are two teams
the
that
Suns
do
are a
care
great
about-
regular
they're
season team,
regular
but
season. Care about the
I
regular
am
season.
counting on a Chris Paul regression
Fall-off?
this upcoming season.
Interesting.
Not major,
Interesting.
not major,
Uh-huh.
but
Uh-huh.
a regression nonetheless.
Interesting. But a 2022 Chris Paul goes to Milwaukee.
You know, Steph and
The
D'Lo
championship.
played the
I
same
don't
amount
think
of
it's that
games,
crazy.
right?
Steph and D'Lo?
Yeah.
Okay. What does that mean to me?
No, just
That
wanted to throw that out there. Like you talk about Steph might miss some games,
But that's a fact, though.
but when D'Lo miss games too, or that's just
Will
not.
Ant-Man? Will Cat? Will Gobert?
Well, they all played.
I don't know.
They all played.
Probably not.
Also, we're doing the I don't know thing.
Well, I'm just saying, based on what we've seen, the Warriors, why weren't the Warriors the first seed this past season?
Wait, so then why? If you talk about based, why wouldn't you just
Draymond
put
Green got
Phoenix?
hurt.
Okay.
But why wouldn't you put Phoenix up there? though?
let me. You just answered it.
Yep.
Why weren't the Warriors the first seed this past season?
Draymond Green.
hurt.
They were hurt. Yes, they were injured. That's why they fell off. They should have been the first seed.
Agreed.
The Clippers, we know Kawhi load manages. That's not a secret.
facts.
He load manages.
So why don't you just put Phoenix? Why do you think? they'll be
Because
higher
I
than
don't think Phoenix is going to be the first seed again.
But
I
can we
think
bring up
Minnesota
something
will
with the
be.
Timberwolves?
regular season?
Yeah,
tough.
you can bring it up.
Last year, Karl Anthony Towns played 74 games. Clap for him. Good job. But the year before that, he played 50. The year before that, he played 35. D'Angelo Russell played 65 games last year, platform, but the year before that, he played 42. And then the year before that, what did he play? 45.
So you mean to tell me
So,
they've been hurt
guys-
one time? I mean, they've been healthy one time.
Yeah, these guys have a history as well. And if you know what I mean, like if you just out there with, with Rudy,
Gobert.
Gobert
And-
going what?
In 2020, in the 2021 season, when the Utah Jazz were the first seed in the NBA, Donovan Mitchell missed about 20 to 30 games. They were kept afloat because of Rudy Gobert.
no, they were kept afloat. Well, yeah. I don't want to take
That's facts.
credit away from. The thing
is
about
facts.
the Utah Jazz is that they had a system.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They had a system, and then they had Rudy as a defensive anchor. The Timberwolves is a newer team. So I think they're going to need the availability to have their core guys to get their identity off the ground and movement. So, yeah, Rudy is going to do his thing defensively, but D'Angelo Russell and Karl Anthony Towns are going to need to be healthy for this team, especially be this number one seed you're talking about.
No question. And I'm counting on them to be healthy. But you're right. If they are hurt, I don't see them doing that. But my thinking is that I don't think the Warriors and the Clippers care too much about the regular season. I think that they won't be a bottom. They won't be the 6 seed or lower. I think they'll be a top 4 seed. But I think they know the playoffs are just what matters.
I agree with that.
Yeah, for me, I agree. The Warriors' point, they don't care about the regular season at this point. Maybe only Clay feel like he has something to prove at this point. With the Clippers, I think if they're, like you said, injuries do matter, so let me throw that in here. But I do think they still have a little bit to prove more than the Warriors, because the Warriors coming off a chip. The Clippers, they haven't been healthy, and they also have a bunch of guys who want to prove something. John Wall, Paul George, he didn't play last year. He missed a lot of games. Kawhi, he didn't play last year. So I think, if they're healthy, obviously health is always the shit that ruins basketball. But if they are healthy, this is a team that's 12 deep. So this team realistically shouldn't be lower than a 4 seed. They're that good.
To speak on Phoenix real quickly, Robert Sarver stuff, I think it does at least create a bit of tension, I guess, within the organization. DeAndre Ayton, how he ended last season, where Monty Williams didn't give him the ball, he was benched. I think that creates some frustration. Them not giving him a contract and just matching it. Chris Paul is up there in age. He's older. They're trying to trade Jay Crowder. To me, it doesn't feel like the Suns are trending upwards. It feels like they reached what they can reach, which was a finals appearance in the first seed, and now is the start of them slowly getting worse.
To me, it sounds like Denver could be the 1 seed.
Yes, that's my pick. My money is on Denver.
Joker
They're young,
going to get
they're
you
hungry.
48 wins, Dolo.
And then you got Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr. who are going to be eager to get on that court. KCP, Bruce Brown Jr. Bruce Brown. I almost called him Jr. It's a dude on my Twitch whose name is Bruce Brown Jr.
That's right.
Bruce Brown,
I'm not junior, bro.
Bones Highland. You know what I mean? They got a nice team over there. So,
You know what, Riv? I do like your thinking about Ty Lue 100% when it makes sense with the Clippers roster and how deep they are. But just to not be under similar thinking as you, let's look at another team that had one of their main players not play the entirety of last season and think about how they finished their season and really gave a fight to, according to Pete, the best team in the Western Conference, the Pelicans.
Oh, okay.
You add Zion to this roster.
relax. Record-wise in the regular season.
I'm just going off what you said.
Nah, he just
No,
said they're
I
better
said they
than
was a better
Memphis.
team than the
P,
Timberwolves or the
all I'm
Grizzlies.
saying is that's what you said. I'm
It's
just
a better
quoting
team
you.
than the Grizzlies.
I'm just quoting you.
You think the Pels? That's tough.
I mean, Willie Green was great in that second half. Once
Yes.
CJ McCollum got acquired, the team just seemed to be different. Now they had a true
Yes.
true guy that can handle the ball. We saw Brandon Ingram really turn into that, just take that next level in his game offensively. Herb Jones.
Talk about them.
Brandon Ingram. Listen, I give P a lot of credit. He's the one that came onto the show, started the Brandon Ingram agenda. I've been slowly but surely started to incorporate it into my thinking as well. But I just kind of push back when he tries to group him with Jason Tatum. I think that's where things get a little bit too far.
There's this guy on Twitter.
Okay.
He's a Brandon Ingram stan and a Pels stan.
Yo, shout out Burner.
No, it's not Burner.
I know, I'm
Somebody
just
else.
saying in general.
He swipes up on every tweet I make.
Okay.
Brandon Ingram this, Brandon Ingram that.
He's like that, though.
I don't care.
He's like that.
Oh,
though.
I know who you're talking about. You talking about the guy who got the Brandon Ingram
Yes.
profile picture with the red shirt?
Uh-huh.
Yes.
It's
Y'all be seeing y'all go at it.
Yeah, we do, because it's always, yo, Brandon Ingram better than Paul George. I don't got time for shit like that. Listen, if you gonna say some shit like that, please, bro, not on Twitter, because you know what I'm saying? I don't do
You
that.
get spicy on.
Yeah, and then the way he be disrespecting Steph, he be getting at me. So, you know, he's another guy. But I'm gonna have to really tune into the Pels, because they keep
They're
talking
like
about this
that.
guy.
I mean,
They keep talking about this man like he Jesus. So
Now,
I'm
Brandon
have to
Ingram
lock
is extremely good at basketball. But then to continue, Herb Jones being the 3-and-D guy that he was last year, breaking out into the scene. You have Jose Alvarado coming off the bench. He just drafted Dyson Daniels.
Love him.
Zion Williamson coming to this roster can legitimately propel them to being a top 5 seed in the Western Conference. I firmly
Trey
believe
Murphy
that.
III.
Trey Murphy, you could talk about him. You could
Jonas Valanciunas, Mr. Underrated.
Go ahead. I mean, P understands where I'm coming from. The Pelicans are going to be legit this season, and Willie Green is a great coach, and he could definitely be a candidate for Coach of the Year.
Larry Nance off that bench as well.
Larry Nance,
You two seem really high on the Pels.
why not?
I like the Pelicans.
What do you mean
man? They got
Larry
everything
Nance
you
is
want.
so-so?
No, I'm scarred.
Is that Lakers?
I'm scarred.
Is that Lakers, you know.
Nah, forget about that when he was on Cleveland.
No, Larry Nance is one of the most important parts of the Pelicans team.
But they're young.
They are
They're
young,
fun.
extremely young.
And they are dangerous.
Finessing Dyson Daniels from that Lakers trade is huge.
It's not
for them,
finessing.
too.
You
So
guys
my-
just
I mean, we
needed
got
AD.
Anthony
Yeah, you
Davis.
needed AD.
So Pierre and my Coach of the Year picks were Chris Finch. You're going Willie Green. Who are you going?
Tyloo,
I love that.
baby.
I really do love that.
If not Tyloo,
And I
though,
love-
give me damn it, never mind.
Yeah, just stick with
No,
Tyler's
allegations. Sorry.
oh my
never
God.
mind.
Oh, damn.
Christ.
Never mind.
Who?
No allegations. I can't say them no more.
I don't want to laugh.
I
don't wanna
literally-
laugh. Riff,
in
you're
a-
just funny. You're just
In the blink
funny.
of an
That's
eye,
all
I
it
forgot
is.
he had the allegation. I can't pick him.
Oh, man. Young Alley boy.
Yeah, my
Oh,
bad, y'all.
man.
So yeah, no dark horse.
What
Just
were you gonna say, P? You were like, great pick.
I
someone.
forgot
There
my
you go,
damn
Riff.
thought.
You just shut it down.
I forgot.
You
I
shut-
literally forgot.
Joel was talking about the Clippers, and like I understand it too. Like Kawhi is probably going to low manage, but that team is so deep. You know
It
what I mean?
is,
Like
yeah.
if he low
Good as
manage, you
shit.
still got Paul George, Norman Powell, Robert Covington, John Wall, Reggie Jackson, Zubac. I like Luke
Kennard,
Kennard.
man, talk.
Yeah,
talk.
man,
Is
like
Wall
that
starting?
team is.
Wall,
They can still stay afloat without Kawhi.
he might start. I don't know yet.
They
They
just
haven't.
did,
They
to be
haven't
honest.
pulled
Wall
on
could
it.
be a 6-man.
Yo, oh my God, dark horse JB Bickerstaff. We lit.
Yep.
Agenda being pushed.
Yep. He was
You're
my
damn
second.
right.
He was my second pick. Actually,
We here.
So Riv, you've been talking a lot about agendas on this show.
Oh, shit.
And not too long ago, you made this tweet about teams that you're rooting for in order. Pierre reacted to it because he was astonished that you could root for so many fucking teams. What are the teams? Riv, give me all the teams you're rooting for this upcoming NBA
Can I
season.
try and list them? I
Sure,
think.
go ahead,
I
do your
think.
thing.
All right, here we go. So obviously you're a Bulls fan, allegedly Bulls fan. The Warriors, the Pistons,
Yeah.
the Clippers,
Mhm.
the Cavaliers.
Yeah.
He had the Jazz in there.
Are you?
That's done now.
The
Done.
Magic?
Okay.
No.
No. How many am I missing?
3.
OKC.
Yes. You were missing 2 very important ones.
Oh my God. Nuggets.
What the fuck?
Because you said they were gonna be the.
I don't mean I got genders for that shit.
I apologize.
Why am I?
The Hawks.
Yes.
Yes.
And you're missing one. He just got traded.
The Pistons.
No, I already said that.
He didn't say Cleveland.
I said Cleveland.
No, you didn't.
I did.
You did not.
I could have swore I did.
No, you didn't
Yeah,
say
yeah,
Cleveland.
okay, but yeah.
he said
for sure.
he said Utah cut you off.
Uh,
The
Um,
Lakers.
No.
Come on, man.
I don't. Oh wait, no. I do have a Buck Night agenda also, so maybe a Charlotte
Hornets?
agenda.
All right.
Maybe. I have a lot of
Interesting. I could definitely.
I don't like LaMelo, so
And you gonna leave him
Bitch.
hanging?
Nah, he's a bitch. That's what he is.
Hey,
yeah,
hey,
yeah, yeah.
hey.
Yeah, that's what you are.
Oh,
Yeah, nah, that's how
but
I'm
when
coming.
okay,
That's how I'm coming.
well, when I'm unhinged, okay.
Bro, come on, that's not even that unhinged.
What the fuck?
I'm calling you a bitch because that's what you are.
You called me a bitch on national TV.
Okay, so what?
National TV.
It's nuts. Now a million.
We need more of that. True friendships is where you can
Come on,
call each other out of
exactly.
your name.
20,000 people are gonna think I'm
Grizzlies.
pussy. Yes. Yes, the Grizzlies. The Grizzlies.
Ah, yeah.
Big job, Morant.
Of
So how
course.
many teams are you rooting for?
Like, I mean, all of them.
All right,
So you're rooting for like the number.
count them.
Bulls, Cavs.
Yep.
Clippers.
Yep.
Warriors.
The Bulls and Cavs are in the same division, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. This is crazy.
Yeah. And Detroit. You cannot forget Detroit.
Oh my god.
Nah, the funniest shit was when Riff said, "Yo, I'm trying to get into the Pistons community, yo. What I got to do?" The very next tweet right after, "Yo, I'm trying to get into the Cavaliers community. What I got to do?"
Detroit
is
accepted
wild.
me. So I got 9. It's 9. It's 9 teams.
accepted me.
So if one of these 9 teams win a chip, I will be
You used to have the
ecstatic.
audacity to call me out on being a Lakers fan. I'm
I
glad
still will
that
forever
stopped,
do it.
but that's
You're
ridiculous.
rooting for 1/3 of the NBA.
Yep. So that means I have a 33% chance to win a chip.
Oh, that boy he got his mathematics right.
But wait, to be fair though, a lot of them teams is garbage. So
Yeah, they are. The Pistons.
yeah, I don't really
the-
root for
you might as well
Pistons
come
aren't
rock with the
garbage.
Knicks.
Hey, if y'all play Cam, I'm Slaughter. If y'all don't play Cam, I
You
ain't
drop
Slaughter.
dead before that happens.
Yeah, no, if they start Cam, I will literally die for the Knicks. But if they don't start
There
Cam,
we go.
I can't.
I'll literally die for the Knicks.
Before we go on to our next segment, I forgot to mention it earlier, but we are going to the Jets game this Sunday
Yes, we are.
versus the Cincinnati Bengals. Joe Burrow versus Joe Flacco. I'm a Jets fan, but I need the Bengals to pull this one out. I need them to pull this one out.
For your
Man,
for the last
How
episode.
shameless are we? Come on. Are y'all gonna be fans of your teams once in your
No,
lives?
all I'm saying is that if the Jets win, I'm ecstatic. But the Bengals, more is riding for them. You know what I'm saying? Like if the Bengals win, I wouldn't be upset. I'd still leave the stadium happy.
Do you see what I'm dealing with?
Oh, you had them
here,
going to the
man?
playoffs.
I
right?
see.
Yeah.
I thought y'all was gonna be talking about Garrett Wilson. You know what I'm saying?
No. He's talking about another team beating his favorite team.
That's what I'm saying. I thought
I
he was gonna be more talking about the Jets, and he talking about the Bengals.
Pee Wee, what's
Listen,
your football team, Pee
if
Wee?
Zach Wilson played, I
Pee Wee,
would
you're a
The
Cowboys
Dallas
fan.
Cowboys.
Facts.
Yeah.
Oh, we rivals.
What you is Eagles?
Eagles. I mean Eagles, Bills, Cardinals.
Oh hell no, we ain't rivals.
See what-
shit.
this is what I'm saying.
What you mean? Like that's my 3 teams right there. Oh,
Quick
and
shout out.
Jettas.
Shout out to Mojo. They hooked us up with the tickets.
facts,
You know, we mentioned them
absolutely.
early in the pod, but shout out to Mojo. They're hooking us up with the tickets. We're planning on tailgating. Drew has a softball game,
I
but
do.
me and Riv will be at a tailgate hopefully early in the morning if we don't oversleep. But yes, we'll make some content there. Shout out to Mojo for hooking up the tickets.
Oh, we will.
Shout out to Mojo. I'm
We'll make
pulling
some
up too.
content there.
Yo, pull up, P. We out.
We'll make some content.
If Zach was quarterbacking, I'll probably
You
pull
take the
up,
flight
but
out.
man,
That'd be real.
I ain't coming to watch no Joe Flacco.
I don't blame
Whatever.
you. I don't blame you.
Sorry, kid.
Next topic: the Detroit Pistons traded for Bojan Bogdanovic. They traded Kelly Olynyk and Saban Lee. The Jazz had other offers for first-round picks, but they didn't want to take on any salary. Now, here's the question: with the addition of Bojan, do you think this makes the Pistons at least a threat to make the play-in game?
So I
No.
actually have the teams listed here that I believe firmly are locks for the playoffs / play-in. Celtics, Bucks, Heat, Sixers, Cavs, Raptors, Hawks, Bulls. That's 8
One
teams.
spot left. Oh, 2
No,
spots.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
Did you say-
8,
you didn't say the
9.
Nets.
9 facts. That's why I apologize
One
because
spot
I knew
left.
I had 9 teams listed here. Thank you very much.
One spot
So
left.
9 teams that I feel are
Name the teams left.
basically. So you have the Knicks, you have the Pistons, you have the Hornets,
Did-
you have the
Did
Magic.
you name the Cavs?
Yeah, he
Yes,
named
the
Cavs.
Cavs are one of my top ones. So you have the Knicks, you got the Magic, you got the Hornets, and you got the Pistons.
Wizards.
Let's be real. Let's be real.
Hey, I would take the Wizards over the
The
Pistons.
Wizards are a better team than the Pistons.
So let's be real.
I guess they
They
are.
could make that final
It's just
play-in
not
spot.
exciting. I'm being rude. I'm
Bradley
No,
Beal.
they're not
Bradley.
exciting, but they
I'm
got
sorry,
Monte
Bradley.
Moore.
He said, "Let's."
They got Bradley
I'm sorry.
Beal.
KP
Be real.
needs respect when he's healthy, I guess. I don't want
Rui
to.
Hachimura, Kyle Kuzma,
Daniel Gafford.
Monte
They got a lot of
Moore,
You
good
see, you
players.
see Kuzma 6'10"?
He's been that.
No,
Will Barton.
apparently he's grown more according to
Yeah, he
himself.
said he's growing.
Now, the Wizards have a lot of good players.
They have a lot
though.
of-
Yeah, I'm
really
being
good players.
disrespectful. I honestly I am. But I just look at the Pistons. I see Cade Cunningham. I see Jaden Ivey. I see that.
Yeah, it's that excitement. That's
Yeah,
what
that's what it
Same thing with
is.
Twitter. Twitter
Yeah.
is liking a new excitement, and I love everything the
You
Pistons
didn't
are
have to
doing.
make
But
me
they're
sound
still
like
a
a
young
casual,
team.
but you're 100% right. They are super young, and I just I look at. Let's just be real. I look at the Magic, another young team. They might just be a little bit more complete. I know that's crazy to say when you're comparing both the 2 bottom teams of the Eastern Conference, but you have Markelle Fultz, Jalen Suggs, Franz Wagner, Paolo Banchero.
Franz.
I said Franz Wagner. Wendell Carter Jr. It's
Isaac's
just that
coming back.
that Jonathan Isaac. There you go. Cole Anthony. I didn't even mention coming.
No,
off
you
the
said
bench.
France. He's good enough to where his name has to be pronounced right.
Did I say France?
I think
You
so.
did say
Yeah.
Man, I'm
France.
sounding more and more like a casual man. I'm sorry. Yes, Franz
Lock back in.
Wagner, who was absolutely amazing in the Euro tournament. I just look at the Magic and I just think that they're a little bit more complete right now. But that just can't take away from the fact that Cade Cunningham is probably the best player out of both of these two teams, and I just put a lot of
Yes,
stock into Cade.
Probably.
I mean, Banchero can be that guy, but Cade's the most complete player right now. Can improve on his shooting, and also improve on not turning the ball over as much. But Cade's got it all, and that's what leans me to wanting to side with the Pistons. But I can't ignore the Magic and how complete in comparison they are.
So who you think fighting for the 10th seed?
I think it's
like-
the Wizards and the Knicks.
The Knicks need their respect, especially after getting what they needed in a point guard. We'll see what happens with Quinn Grimes if he actually takes that step in the development. RJ Barrett, of course, like I mentioned, entering that most improved. Maybe Randall getting back to that form, or let's just not be as fallen off as he was last season. Just get back to regular Randall status. Mitch Robinson continuing to improve.
Yep.
The Knicks are
Isaiah Hardenstein, baby.
There you go. That a great
great
pickup
addition.
by you guys.
I wish the Clippers would
Absolutely.
have kept him.
I wish the Lakers would have
Too
tried
bad.
to do something to acquire him. But ultimately, the Knicks is a fair pick. I think that I would lean the Magic over the Pistons as well. But the Pistons are headed into a great direction.
The Pistons were the 14th seed last year. I think the Pacers are the only team that's going to be worse than them. I think they'll be better than Orlando. Just me personally, I think they will. I think the play-in spot's going to be decided by the Knicks, Wizards, Hornets, and Pistons. And I do favor the Knicks because I think they have more established players. I do favor the Wizards. I think they have a pretty good roster. And call me crazy, but I kind of favor Detroit slightly over the Charlotte Hornets. I'm not a big fan. I like LaMelo, but outside of LaMelo and Rozier, Gordon Hayward, you can't count on him to stay healthy. They lost Miles Bridges. They brought in Steve Clifford, who he's a good coach, but
Drafted
I feel like it's
Marco.
just a lateral move. You fired him to bring in James Borrego. You fired James Borrego to bring back Steve Clifford. What's the point? Like, there's no point.
No
Yeah.
direction.
So because of that, I like the Pistons. I like Dwayne Casey as a coach, and they have a pretty cute roster. You look at Cade, Ivy, Sadiq Bey, Bojan, Isaiah Stewart off the bench, Alec Burks, Nerlens Noel, who were huge bench pieces for the Knicks. Diallo's good, Bagley's good off the bench.
Jalen Duran.
Yeah, Jalen Duran, Killian Hayes, who, we know to this point he's a bust, but
Mid.
he can at least play defense somewhat. So you know,
Killian
it's
Hayes
not
got to
that
do
bad.
something one of these years.
Yeah.
He got to do something.
It's not a bad
He does
roster.
got to do something because then he's going to be out of the NBA.
And we talked about it earlier, but Bojan was a huge get, 38% on catch and shoot threes last year. And this is why I had a gripe with, you dissecting his game and saying he's relegated to a spot-up shooter. Because last year,
I said he was
shot
going to
because-
be relegated.
because last year he shot 47% from three when he dribbled the ball 3 to 6 times. So when he's creating,
that ain't shit.
How many times did he do that shit? Twice. Motherfucker did that shit twice.
all I'm saying is that when he
has 3 to 6.
when he has the ability to dribble, he puts in a little move, he can step back and hit a couple threes.
What 3 to dribble is like? What you could just come up the court, boom, boom,
3-6 dribbles.
boom, boom.
Yeah, he getting off the
hand.
handoff.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
One,
off the
two.
dribble.
Little bag work. Okay.
I like Bojan more so than liking his game. I like what the statement that the Pistons are sending to the young team. They investing into this team. They believe in the talent that they're getting, and I think they are going to turn the page soon. They may not make it this year. Everything don't have to be that fast, but I do think that there is a clear-cut direction. I like to pick up a lot because it's a win-win. Damn.
Bless you.
Thank you. Because he can come in and help them and they can win some games, but if not, you flip him at the trade deadline. No harm done. For Saban Lee and Kelly Olynyk, no harm done. So
And you get a first-round pick in return for Bojan. I'm pretty sure you'll get that.
So who you
Yeah, I
got?
think so. I
Who you
think
got
so.
locking in that 10 spot?
if
Knickerbockers.
off the top of my head, it would have to be the Knicks. It would have to be.
Have to.
But in all honesty, I think the Chicago Bulls can be a team that falls like that low. The Lonzo Ball news is concerning.
I have the Bulls being one of those 9 that I think is pretty set in stone. So long as you got DeMar and Zach, you should be locked in to the playoffs,
Yeah.
at least the play-in. You know what
No,
I'm saying?
yeah, I think, no, for sure. I'm agreeing with you. I think they're a lock, but I could see them like having the biggest fall off because even last year, what seed were they?
We were a
Now they were
seed.
6, yeah.
6 seed, yep.
With a DeMar DeRozan year like that, they got you 6. So now we talking
Levine
about
was hurt,
not having
though.
Lonzo.
Now he got a
And-
point in a sense of where if
Excellent point.
the same shit happens again last year, we're done. Like we're cooked.
But you lost Caruso
But
and Ball.
But if we got hurt and we couldn't win fucking games
Facts.
against good teams.
Yeah.
So if the same shit happens again, then it looks bad. But we'll talk about the
And it's-
Bulls in another day.
And I'm also I don't think the Bulls have a bad team at all, but I'm also taking in the fact how better a lot of teams got, like
Yep.
the Cavs. I think Brooklyn has to show us
Cavs
something, but
fucked
they
us.
got better.
The
The
Hawks.
Celtics got better.
Hawks
The
fucked
Hawks
us
got
up.
better. A lot of teams got better, and it's like the Heat and the Bulls didn't. But I'm still taking the Heat over the Bulls. So, you know, I'm gonna say the Knicks and the Bulls. On some play-in shit.
I think you said that perfectly. And
Don't do it.
when talking about
Don't
the
do it.
Bulls,
Don't fucking do it.
Pierre put it lightly. I mean, you're led by a 30-year-old DeMar DeRozan, 33, 34 years old. Your ceiling is not that
sure you
high.
wanna take this
Last year
route?
was your best year.
Throw
You're
some
not doing
respect on
anything.
Levine. That's it.
It's
That's all I ask.
not like anybody warned
You're led-
Bulls fans that this was going to happen.
You're led by
And
Julius
that's why.
Randle.
And Pierre's
Throw some
right.
respect on Star J.
You're led by
what
Jalen Brunson.
Pierre's right. What he said is
Why
absolutely
would you
correct.
say
Because
Star
he's
J?
Other
doing it. He
teams,
started it.
other teams in the East got better. And
Did you?
when the Donovan
They
Mitchell
did.
trade
Yes,
happened,
we did
get
we
better.
did
Are you
get better. We did get better.
Picked up a. You know what?
Jalen
We
Brunson,
had a-
Isaiah
I-
Hartenstein.
We had a better offseason than the Chicago Bulls, and it's
You
not
did,
even.
and we're still
Yeah, we
better than
did.
y'all.
That's
You're
because you
hoping
have
to be
players,
better.
yeah.
Not having Lonzo Ball is a big blow, my
Oh
brother.
no, facts. I
It's a
gonna
understand.
big
be out,
blow,
what,
and
the
you better
first
hope.
month?
You better hope DeMar DeRozan is any. And I love Comp 10.
Hey,
Had a chance
shout
to meet
out,
him at some.
shout out to
I'm
DeMar,
rooting
but
for
I
him for the
don't.
rest
I
of
don't.
his
I'm
career.
not. I don't even want DeMar to be the leading scorer. I need the
Exactly.
light
It
skinned
needs
boy
to-
to be
nah,
the
no
leading
cap.
scorer.
It
I
needs
need
to be
him to
Zach.
be that.
It
That's
needs to be
But
Zach.
the tough thing about that is, if DeMar ain't the main guy, how does he be effective? Because you can't spot up at the 15 foot
No.
elbow.
So what?
for mid-range.
So how? Like how I look at it? Like I don't want him. I don't want him to spot up on no fucking elbow. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna be dumb tight if I ever see him do some shit like that. What I mean by is, like there was times in the possessions where DeMar get the ball in the game, right? DeMar rack
Yes.
off, and then DeMar gets double teamed, or DeMar's not feeling it. I want Zach to be more aggressive. I want him to be less reliant on DeMar and realizing like, yo, fuck what DeMar talking about. I'm a 3-level scorer. I can score at will at any point in the game. Let me go take some pressure off him and let me go get one too. Now I get that his knee was fucked up because before his
Yes.
knee he was averaging 27 points a game. So I get that his knee was messed up, but I need Zach to be on some, yo, I know DeMar had a great season, but I'm a better scorer than him. I am a 3-level bucket. I need to go get mines too.
He's a better ball player than DeMar.
So I think
That all sounds good.
Jalen Brunson,
But
I need you to
it's
relax because you keep.
It's funny though, because last year, the Bulls had this off season that got overhyped, and I told you, listen,
played amazing.
It's not that exceptional. It's whatever. Your ceiling is limited. The Bulls aren't making any noise, and because I was the bearer of bad news, a lot of people, hated on
Called
me
you a
for
hater?
it. Yeah, they hated on
Remember
me. But
when he wrote
I
his
was,
apology
I was
letter to
100%
Chicago?
true, and it was one of the worst moments of my podcasting career.
I think we're the only team he doesn't. I think we're the only team he
Succumbing
doesn't
to
give
something I
context
truly
to.
believed in.
the Hawks.
That too. Back to the question at hand, because I feel like everybody has went and I didn't.
Okay.
This is not a Bulls topic. This is a
No, we're just mentioning the Bulls as a
Because
potential
it ended
loser.
up being an attack on you. So yeah.
this is not a Bulls
Rich
topic.
just said,
I think I don't know about you guys, but I
how
think
can we not attack him? He got 10 teams he's rooting for.
Oh, listen. I don't get mad if you attack OKC. They ass. I ain't gonna get mad. You know what I'm saying?
That's
I
Bulls,
feel
though.
like I feel like our audience loves when we slander the Bulls. I do.
No, I think they love when we slander you. I think that's what it is.
think so?
Yeah, that's what's.
I think that's true.
But you know what? I'm
I
not.
think we have a lot of Knicks fans. They love to see
I
the Knicks
wasn't even going to
succeed.
slander the Knicks. I was going to give the Knicks some credit. They had a good off season. They have a bunch of really good young ass players. I even one time called them one of the best young cores in the
You
NBA.
did.
And the
Thanks.
constant
Thank you for
disrespect from this side just continue.
It does.
But you know what?
That's Joel. That's Joel. You give an inch, bro takes a mile.
It's not disrespect. It's honesty. It's brutal honesty.
Well,
It is.
that's understandable. DeMar's still better than your team. Zach's still better than your team. So
He is. They both are.
Back to the question at hand. Is Detroit making a play? I agree with you. I think the Knicks Washington, and Detroit. I think those are the 3 teams that will be fighting for the 10th seed. I am not a believer in Charlotte because they don't play defense. They did lose a 20-point per game score. What is going to happen with Steve Clifford? Is he going to bring that same offense he had before? I don't know. LaMelo's probably going to be exciting this year, but that's
I'm
probably
ready
it.
for it.
Gordon Hayward is not reliable. They still don't have his center.
Yep.
Terry Rozier's going to give you,
bro. Who knows?
He's a rookie. Can you rely on him for a full
right.
season? I don't know.
You're right.
So I'm not high on Charlotte. Orlando's going to be an exciting team, but they also have a lot of question marks. What is Jonathan Isaac going to look like? Can Markelle Fultz last for a season? Jalen Suggs, can he get better on the offense? Man, he was great defensively.
Franz is him,
Can
though.
he get better? He is him, but he needs to improve.
Yes.
Also, we have to wait on that. Wendell Carter, was that a fluke or was it not a fluke? There's a lot of question marks with Orlando.
I'll say this really quick. If Banchero is everything we think he can be,
That's still a lot on a
but
rookie.
I'm just saying, as a whole, the entire landscape changes.
It does. I think Detroit is slightly better.
yeah.
I think Detroit is better than Orlando because I think, like you said, Cade is the best player out of both teams. I think everybody, there's like 95% of the world that understands and expects Cade in year 2, he's going to be a dog. I think he's going to improve his playmaking, improve his vision. He's going to be very sound on the defensive end. He's going to improve his efficiency.
His jump shot needs to improve.
He's going to finally get full
Efficiency
control of the offense,
Correct.
which they didn't give him until, I think, December, January last season. So he's finally going to get control in the offense. And Jaden Ivey's going to be able to play well off Cade. He's a solid shooter. I know this percentages doesn't look that way, but he is a solid shooter. Sadiq Bey now doesn't have to take on those one-on-one roles. His efficiency is going to go up.
Now it's Bojan.
Right. Two guys who can shoot the ball, Bojan and Sadiq Bey. Those you put the spacing around Jaden Ivey, it's going to help
could be
his
a little
game.
bit better of a shooter.
That was my comparison for Sadiq coming into the league. Bogdanovich.
That's a good
And
comparison.
now they teammates.
This is
And
crazy.
Bojan's also a slept-on defender. He's a pretty good defender.
He's a good defender.
He's a pretty good defender.
He's a good defender.
He is a pretty good defender.
He is. He was their wing stopper.
He's had a very good career.
You know that
what I mean?
on 2K he has an A- permanent defender.
You know what's funny? I wasn't going to out how we came to this conclusion, but I'm glad you mentioned it. Yeah, he's got an A- defensive rating.
I'm not surprised because it doesn't work in the playoffs. But
Facts.
Fuck. I think the Wizards, because they have Bradley Beal, you have to pay him that respect. Kristaps Porzingis, Kyle Kuzma, they have a lot of really good players.
They do.
But they have the same roster. I mean, Monte Morris.
What are
came
the
in,
odds the Wizards are better than the Bulls this upcoming season?
I'm so sorry to
literally
interrupt.
little to none.
I'm
think
sorry
so?
to interrupt.
Yes.
Good dialogue. Did you guys see the picture of Johnny Davis in the hospital bed holding his
Yeah, I seen that
his
before we got
newborn
in here.
Yeah, I
child?
saw it.
That picture.
They said wifey got out the bed.
Yo, you did all the work. Get out of here. I need my flick for IG. Bro, I was crying.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to. I know you brought that up, but please don't say that dumb shit ever again. The Wizards would not be better than the Bulls. That's mad.
There's a
disrespectful.
chance they can be.
Injuries aside.
Are we getting the board out?
No. That doesn't even deserve to go on the board. Injuries aside, if we get hurt, fine.
Well, you're already injured. Lonzo's hurt.
No, I get. Even if Lonzo is hurt, we're still
Lonzo
better
and
than the
Caruso
Wizards.
got hurt. They were the 6th seed.
All right,
you a hater.
Lonzo is-
Talk
The
about
Wizards got
Wizards.
better. Monte Morris, Bradley Beal, Kuzma, Kristaps
Kuzma was there
Porzingis.
last year. Porzingis was there.
No, he was there for a part of the season
And they-
without
but-
Bradley Beal.
But they weren't good regardless.
Can you trust in KP though?
No.
KP is going to give you 20 and 10 at
talking about
least
his health.
every
When he
single
plays. When he plays.
I'm trusting KP. And they got Daniel Gafford. And they got Rui Hachimura.
Trust
And they got
me.
Will
Kyle
Barton off
Kuzma.
the
See, that's
bench.
what I'm saying. Rui Hachimura, what is he really?
It's not
KP
crazy to say the Wizards can be better than the Bulls.
Like I
No,
said,
it is
health
crazy.
aside, if we are injured, I can see that.
I guess,
Health
yeah.
aside.
Like, for
no.
example, DeMar DeRozan had this spectacular season last year, right? And after that season, you could have said, yes, he's better than Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal has been having better seasons than DeMar
Nah, Bradley
for
Beal's
3
like
to
that.
4 years.
Yeah, when
before
DeMar was in
that,
San Antonio.
Bradley Beal's a 30-point per game
Nah,
scorer.
Bradley-
Yeah, when DeMar.
Bradley
No,
Beal's a
wait,
better
hold on.
player
Why
than
are we
DeMar.
acting like
I
DeMar?
would say Bradley Beal is a better player than DeMar.
Why do we
DeMar
act like?
DeRozan.
Why do we act like DeMar's never averaged 27 before that?
I
Why
know.
do
I
we
agree
do
with
that?
But as of recently, Bradley Beal has been better.
Yes,
It's only
because DeMar was in a
DeMar
system
can't
in
shoot.
San
That's really
Antonio.
what it, well, can't shoot. He's just not.
Bradley
a great
Beal's on a
three-point shooter
team
at all.
literally
That's a
outside
tough-
of the Westbrook.
that's a tough conversation.
After the Westbrook year, well, before that, he was on a team by himself. Yeah, he's going to average 30. With Westbrook, he averaged 30. That's fine. Last year, he came back down to fucking earth and averaged 23
But
points
he
a
was
game.
still a solid playmaker.
He was, but he
playing
averaged
good defense on the other
23
side.
points a
He
game.
had
DeMar
other
had a
jobs.
historic.
He had
He
other
was
jobs.
breaking Will Chamberlain records,
Yes,
bro.
I'm not saying that
Why
you're
are we
wrong.
doing this
DeMar
here?
was great.
Breaking?
He broke a Wilt Chamberlain record in a month.
He did.
He did.
What was the
He
record?
did.
I'm blanking.
He did.
but
I'm
did.
Probably was
blanking
one of the
too.
weakest records.
It's a Wilt Chamberlain record. There's nothing weak about it. There's nothing weak
Was it
about it.
30-point games?
Yeah,
Yeah,
might
it
have
was like
been.
it was some
might
shit
have
like
been.
that. Most
Because
30-point
James
games in a
Harden
month.
should have been broke that.
Why are you? Who cares
I
about
said-
Because
that?
in 2019, Harden was historic.
Some hating ass.
Beal
nigga,
Beal
man.
is a very underrated playmaker.
I think
he
I
had
think-
to play a lot of defense on that team because that defense is ass. He had to do a lot of things different.
DeMar
from the year
DeRozan is
prior.
a damn good basketball
He is,
player,
no
though.
doubt.
Bro,
Even
Bradley
in San
Beal's 20
Antonio.
Absolutely. No
Bradley
one's saying DeMar
Beal's
isn't
23
great.
points per game was more than anything DeMar ever averaged in San Antonio.
Because he's in a system, you know that. Why are you doing that?
Yeah,
you
but
see
his
how you do
playmaking
that,
went
bro?
up crazy in San
You
Antonio.
see
Bradley
what he
Beal
does, right?
averaged 6.6 assists this
I was
past
going to
season.
say, yeah, Bradley Beal is a
but
very good
why are
playmaker.
we acting like I'm saying Bradley Beal is trash?
Who's a better playmaker?
Bradley Beal.
Why?
I mean, why else? I mean, he's
No, I
I'm
think
asking,
it's
what-
close. I
It
would
is
say
close.
DeMar's a better playmaker. I
on the
think
same tier.
Bradley Beal's a better scorer, though.
Okay, that's
yes.
fine. Well, he's a
And that
better. He's a
also
more
adds-
versatile
That also
scorer.
adds to the playmaking.
He's a more
aspect of
versatile
He's a
things.
more
scorer, for
versatile
sure.
scorer.
Correct.
But-
And I
Right.
think
DeMar
if, when
DeRozan-
Bradley Beal actually wants to lock in, he's a better defender than him.
I don't care. He doesn't do it often.
Yeah, you.
When he's in a winning situation, he has.
When's
When
the last time
DeMar-
he's been in a
when
winning
DeMar's been in a winning
situation?
situation,
DeMar
he's
was
been a
just
shit
in
defender.
DeMar's just been in a winning situation.
Bradley Beal with John Wall in those years, Bradley Beal was a great defender.
But he wasn't the best player. He was the second best player on that
Yes,
team.
okay, but
He
he was
led
still a
by
great
John
defender.
Wall.
But he was still a great defender.
Yeah, because John Wall was taking off the load.
DeMar DeRozan was
John
never
Wall
a
was
good
setting
defender.
Bradley Beal up to score, which giving him the opportunity to go play defense because he doesn't have to do that one-on-one shit. DeMar is a one-on-one
lit.
isolation scorer. He goes out there and gets buckets.
So
That's his
does Beal,
forte.
though.
But he doesn't do
that's
it in
why
the
he doesn't
playoffs.
play defense
He doesn't
anymore.
do it in
That's
the
what I'm
playoffs.
saying. They're both
He
the
doesn't do it
same
in the
level
playoffs.
defender. What the fuck Bradley Beal doing in the playoffs?
Bradley Beal averaged 30 versus the Sixers in the playoffs in
They
the first
lost in
round.
4
That's more than anything
games.
DeMar DeRozan has ever done.
They lost in 4 games, bro.
DeMar
DeMar was
DeRozan
in the
has
ECF.
been shit in
DeMar
every
was
single
in the ECF,
playoff,
bro.
and he
He
got
was in the
swept.
ECF.
And he got
He
swept.
didn't get swept. He won fucking 2 games. Stop lying on him, bro.
When did
He's-
y'all go to the ECF?
I said DeMar in Toronto when they played the Cavs, bro.
That wasn't the ECF, was it?
Go ahead, look it up. Know it all, doctor. Look it up. Look it up. Look it up.
Don't worry, I'll look it up.
Look it up. Look.
They played the Celtics that
Look it
year, I'm
up.
pretty sure.
Look it up. Look it up. 6-game series.
LeBron-
Cleveland won
was
the
that
first 2.
LeBronto?
Toronto won the next 2,
No,
and then they lost 2 in a row.
LeBronto wasn't Eastern
That
Conference
was
Finals.
that's what I'm saying. LeBronto wasn't
Look it
ECF.
up. Look it up.
No, it was 2018. It was Cleveland versus Boston.
That's what I'm
No,
saying.
I'm telling you, look up just look up Cleveland versus Toronto. Eastern
Okay, these are
Conference
everything
Finals.
since the 2014 NBA playoffs. The Heat and Indiana ECF. 2015 it was Cleveland and Hawks ECF. 2016 it was Cleveland over Toronto.
I know
in
what
6
I'm
games.
fucking talking about. I know ball. I know ball. I know
your
ball.
bag.
If you know
Stop
ball,
in
what
your
did DeRozan
bag.
average in that series?
Like 23.
Okay, let me check.
6-game series, right? It was 6 games, right? Yeah. I
He
know.
averaged 23.
I know ball.
He
Stop
shot
playing with
0%
me.
from 3.
He can't fucking shoot threes. We know that. Stop acting like I don't know. I know ball.
See, but I'm like I
Yeah,
give you credit here.
LeBron told us
knew
when he hit the
LeBron
game
told
winner.
us.
I'm not
He's a
talking
one-footer.
like I'll give you credit for knowing 2016. That's fine, but that doesn't take away from you being right about him making it to the ECF. Does not take away from the fact that as an overall offensive player, yes, he can get buckets, but it's important to shoot the basketball at a high clip. It's important to be a great shooter.
But he said
he's not a great shooter.
He said, "What has
But
DeMar
we're talking
done?"
about 2022.
No, that's
He's
not
not
what
a
he
great
said.
No, but
3-point
let's talk-
shooter.
let's-
He's
me
not
and
a
you,
great
let's
3-point
talk
shooter.
about it.
2022. He's not a great 3-point shooter. He's the best
a great
mid-range
mid-range
shooter in the
shooter.
NBA.
He is.
He's a great finisher. Best mid-range shooter in the NBA. Great finisher.
that doesn't
He has
translate
a
in
great
the
flow
playoffs.
game. He has a great free throw. He's a great free throw
Bradley
shooter.
Beal can
Hey,
do
let's
all
look
of
at this as
well.
well.
No,
Let's
Bradley
look at
Beal's
this.
also a great scorer.
Playoff stats. DeRozan in the playoffs, 22 a game, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, shoots 42% from the field and 21% from 3.
Forget about the
Bradley
three. We won't
Beal
talk
in the
about it.
playoffs.
What's his free throw percentage?
Bradley Beal in the playoffs averages 24, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 44% from the field and 35% from 3.
Bradley Beal,
Beal
can
is
shoot. I
a
mean,
better
35.
playoff player. He has
not
better playoff
significant.
stats.
It's not
It's not
significant. And one
Yeah,
guy,
but most
one
of the
guy,
time-
one
most
guy
of the
didn't
time-
even have all the attention. The other guy did.
Bro, Bradley
That's a fact.
Beal in
That's
the
a
first
fact.
round versus Philly averaged 30.
I get what
He
you're
averaged
saying.
30.
No, how many games did they win?
They didn't win one because
They didn't
Russ
win
Westbrook
how many?
was shit. Russ
Say it
Westbrook
again.
didn't play
Oh,
well.
it's Westbrook's fault they didn't win a game?
Bro,
All right,
Russ
but
Westbrook
DeMar-
do you know his splits?
You're comparing because you're comparing a number one option in DeMar who gets a bulk of the attention.
He just
to-
got gentleman
Wait,
swept.
the Wizards ain't win the game?
They
Did
did
they
not.
almost win one?
They ain't almost
They
win a
did not.
damn fucking thing.
Nah,
Why
Philly
did I feel
Philly
like they
swept
almost
them.
won?
The numbers weren't even significant. They're the
I think
same
game
guy.
1 was close, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, game
the
1 was
numbers
close.
weren't even. They're the same guy in the playoffs. So,
I think y'all going hard at an argument that is extremely close. The only thing about DeMar DeRozan that hurts him for me is, yes, he doesn't shoot the 3 ball, which makes him very limited when it comes to the playoffs. And secondly, he damn near don't even try defensively. This past year, he guarding the fourth usage tier on other teams, which means he guarding the Bogdanovich. he like, fuck, I'm not guarding Donovan. I'm not guarding Mike Conley. Fuck it. I got Race O'Neal over Donovan. That's how he come into games. And if you want to be one of the top guys on a team like he's supposed to be, he's gonna have to take on at least the effort of saying, fuck it. Give me KD or Kyrie. I gotta have one of them.
Pierre, would you be?
And that's
Pierre,
barbecue chicken.
Pierre, would you be surprised if the Wizards have a better record than Chicago this upcoming year?
Disregarding health.
Disregarding health?
Yes.
Well, we know Lonzo's already hurt.
Okay, but even then, disregarding that after that one.
All right, but if we're discarding health, then KP's 100% healthy.
Well, he's 100% healthy right now.
But what did I say, though? I said health is the only reason the Bulls will drop lower than the Wizards. That's just a fact. Yes. That's literally a fact.
And in order for the Wizards to compete at any level, Porzingis has to be available. That's why it's hard for me to disregard it, because for both of these teams, health is big. If Lonzo is missing significant time and anybody else miss time, the Bulls dropping. If anybody on the Wizards miss 5 games, they shit can be gone because they can't afford to miss anything. And they got some guys who Bradley Beal, he's liable for 12 games with a wrist injury. KP will miss 27 games because of his knee. Rui Hachimura disappeared for personal reasons last year. Monte Morris is the first year starting point guard.
I think getting him as a starting point guard was huge, just because he's a
starting point guard.
He's a steady player.
He's a starting point guard.
We're gonna find it out, Riv. I don't think so, but we're gonna find it out.
He's one of the worst, but
but he's serviceable.
Him or Io?
Monte Morris.
Oh.
As a point guard?
Yeah, as a point
guard, Monte Morris.
Monte Morris.
I mean, the Wizards were starting Raul Neto, bro. Like, you know.
That's
Monte's a huge improvement.
Yeah, that is a very indeed.
And don't sleep on Corey Kispert.
I'm sleeping.
Don't sleep.
Gotta have a specialist. Don't sleep on Daniel Gafford.
Yeah, Daniel Gafford's like that.
I know. We traded him.
Yeah.
He would block
the shit out of
Y'all
Vucevic's
love
shot.
trading good centers.
Yo, like
him and Wendell.
What's your Washington agenda? What's going
on?
No,
I just think they have a pretty solid roster. I do.
Johnny Davis.
He won't play.
He gonna get some minutes.
So before we move on, I want to get your guys' opinions on this, because the Utah Jazz are trading everybody, but right now this is their projected starting lineup: Mike Conley, Colin Sexton, Malik Beasley, Lauri Markkanen, Kelly Olynyk, and off the bench you have Clarkson, O'Shai, THT, Vanderbilt, and Walker Kessler. I want your unfiltered first reaction to this lineup that the Jazz have right now.
Play and ceiling. And that's being kind.
Name the starting five again?
Conley, Sexton, Beasley, Markkanen, and Olynyk.
That shit is terrible.
It's horrible.
Why on earth will Malik Beasley ever be your starting small forward? If they don't put Jared Vanderbilt in that fucking lineup,
that's hella spacing.
Mike Conley, Colin Sexton, Lauri Markkanen at the 3 again, like he did with Cavaliers.
You can play the
Jared Vanderbilt at your 4, and you better Walker Kessler should start over Kelly Olynyk. I'm sorry, get that rookie a bunch of burn.
I don't know. Kelly Olynyk when he got signed by the Pistons, he averaged 16.
He wasn't bad. Kelly wasn't bad.
He's not bad, but he's not about to be there for shit.
I'm not gonna lie, that team is dog shit. But that's what they wanted. So this team is dog shit.
Yes.
I mean, Jared Vanderbilt starting is
the ceiling's the 10th seed. That's the absolute.
The ceiling is not the 10th seed. The ceiling is the 14th seed.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm being kind.
The ceiling is a 14th seed.
Yeah.
The ceiling is the 29th seed in the NBA. No trolling. Like, that shit is horrible. Yeah, respect to them, though. They trying to tank. They won Victor. Congrats. Tank.
What about Scoot?
Yeah.
Get Scoot too. Just tank.
If this team get Victor, woo-wee! It's a sexy team.
They get something. They need to tank. Like, this shit's crazy.
This roster is going to be just as ugly as their uniforms.
They might win 12 games.
Really? 12's low.
Yeah.
Nah, too many teams rest.
No, I think they win at least 18 to 20.
12's low.
They could fuck around to win
What
12
did the Knicks and the
eyes.
Nets win that season?
The Nets have won 12 games and lost 70 games in the NBA season before.
Yo.
They were so bad.
12 games is fucking
And was that when Boston had their picks?
No. This was before.
That was like in
Jersey.
2009.
It was in Jersey at this time.
That was y'all team. Why y'all laughing?
We are.
New
I lived
Jersey
in New York
boys.
at
Hey,
that time.
don't associate me with that.
Oh, now.
What are we talking about?
You was in Jersey. I was in
I've
New
always
York at
been
that time.
You know Drew Hood, nigga.
That's right. Don't play with my name.
Pardon me.
Don't do that.
Pardon me.
Let's move
G-Lock
on.
Drew.
to the Ime Udoka news.
Oh, shit.
The Celtics have suspended him for the entire season. The punishment is due to an intimate relationship with a female member of the organization. Now, some members of the organization became aware of the relationship in July, and later on, they learned that Ime made like remarks towards her, like the Celtics
unwanted comments.
The Celtics thought the relationship was consensual, but sources said that the woman recently accused Udoka of making unwanted comments towards her. So first off, what are your thoughts on the situation? And then after that, we'll talk about how this affects the Celtics this upcoming season. But first is, what are your thoughts?
This is probably the most unexpected news break this offseason, without a doubt. This is definitely something I never saw coming. I don't think anyone in the NBA community saw this coming. However, the fact that Ime is taking the suspension and we don't know the full details of it, and he's not taking it, he's not putting up a fight or anything, leads me to believe that he did something definitely that crossed the line. I don't know the full news. It has not been reported yet, so I'm not going to make assumptions on another man's character until I get the full report. Then I'll definitely adjust my stance. But as of right now, it's looking as if you take a full-length season suspension, you didn't do something regular. And I don't want to go to the full extreme, but if it's really as extreme as I'm thinking, then a full-length season is a slap on the wrist because he shouldn't have a job right now. But again, we don't have the full details. It's hard to say, but just from that perspective and him not really putting up a fight, it could get ugly.
We don't have the full details. And this is why when this came out, I was disappointed in how everybody was handling it. Not just Twitter. I mean, we know Twitter is going to go wild with it. They're going to speculate about which women were involved. There were some names that, were brought up on Twitter, and Brad Stevens, even in his press conference, called it, just bullshit Twitter stuff, because now you're dragging people into a situation where they probably weren't involved in the first place. But the instant reaction from the media, specifically Stephen A. Smith, because his first take video popped up on my feed.
He was bugging out.
Of defending Udoka to the death and saying that, if this was a white person, they would have swept it under the rug. Why is Ime, why is he in trouble for this? For one, I felt like to make that a race thing was just ridiculous. Like, if it's sexual harassment, and we're not sure if it was or not, but that's harassment nonetheless, no matter your skin color. But I thought the media's urgency to just jump on a story that they did not know anything about was stupid.
Everything's about being first. Wojnarowski dropped the graphic. He dropped the tweet. He could be facing a suspension. No other news, no other information, just so he could be first.
And this anger with people on the internet and also people in the media with the Celtics of, why would they leak this? Why would they do this? I personally don't believe the Celtics leaked this. I believe that there are some sources, and the Celtics may have wanted to get out in front of it first, but really, in the press conference, they said it perfectly. What do they have to gain from leaking this? They don't have anything to gain. All they're losing is a head coach who just took them to the finals and a bunch of bad PR. There's nothing to gain from leaking this story, but yet everybody, mainstream media, they wanted to be first on it and speak on the Celtics as an organization in a bad way. They wanted to defend Ime immediately. And then on Twitter, you have everybody being more mad at the Celtics for suspending Ime than Ime potentially doing something wrong, which I thought was the wrong way to look at the situation. And I thought the most telling thing was Matt Barnes going on his Instagram. He had posted a post defending Ime, deleted it very shortly, comes on earlier today on Instagram in his car and is saying, listen, last night I made a mistake defending Ime. I'm paraphrasing here. What he did, I can't condone. And I was in the wrong for not having that information first. For one, credit to him for taking that stance and owning up to it. But we were talking about this before the show, and Pierre said it perfectly. If Matt Barnes is getting ahead of this right now and saying, I want to detach myself from even defending Ime because he knows the full details, Ime possibly did something that I assume is going to eventually lead to him getting fired from the Celtics. That's my opinion. But as of right now, it doesn't look very good. And this not only affects the Celtics as a team this year, but it affects their organization from top to bottom.
Obviously, my first reaction was just like, I felt, why did it get leaked? You know, first reaction, I'm like, damn, why did this story come out? Where's the information? Because if you're going to leak something that big and have everybody
Where's
just
the
speculate,
substance?
where's the information? Where's all the knowledge? But like you said, media's always rushed to get it first. Stephen A. Smith jumped on. Him and Malika Andrews was going at it.
That was crazy.
It was really crazy.
I sided with Malika on that one, to be honest.
I understand why Stephen A. Smith felt like he was disrespecting him, but I did side with her in the sense of where she was coming from.
She had the right
attitude.
Can y'all explain it to me? Because I actually had it on the TV, but I missed the beginning.
So I think that Stephen A. Smith, Malika got a little bit upset because Stephen A. Smith felt like he was victim blaming. But then Stephen A. clarified his stance, and then Malika understood where he was coming from. They came to like a common ground.
But it got ugly.
But the clip that surfaced, it looked like everything was all bad, but they did eventually get to a common ground. But it, at least in my opinion, it did feel like Stephen A. was kind of trying to point the finger. He did say Ime was in the wrong in this, absolutely, and he said that. But I think Malika was more so trying to say, basically, because Stephen A. was saying that, why did this get leaked? And Malika's like, how can it not be public? Like, it's gonna be public. If this big of a situation is gonna get out there, like it's just.
You know what the problem is with Stephen A. Smith? Not to cut you off. This is what happened with Stephen A. Smith. Y'all all said it correctly when y'all gave y'all opinion on it. Riv, we're gonna let you finish. Being thirsty. ESPN cared more about giving it out first, the information, like Woj, and Stephen A. first take. No coincidence, no pun intended. They wanted to react to it first. And what happened with Stephen A., instead of him doing what Matt Barnes did, he started to put himself in a hole of saying, no, I'm gonna stay. I just think this was wrong. Because I kept seeing the show all day. That's why I don't even watch that shit. But because Stephen A. was defending this shit to the death, I'm like, I gotta see what he's saying. And I want to see the press conference. And I saw a part of the Malika Andrews shit where he did reiterate his points. But even in a situation that's getting this big and there's still so much we don't know, why are you still in a rush to fucking defend some shit you don't know all the pieces to? Instead of just being like Matt Barnes, or if you do know the information, and if you don't, what's wrong with shutting the fuck up? So that's the thing with Stephen A. that I don't understand, and that's what I'm feeling. I'm feeling like Stephen A., instead of just saying, hey, you know what, I maybe spoke too fast. He got too much pride to do some shit like that. So he just gonna keep going and going and going and going. And then he gonna flip the shit like, no, he is wrong. Nobody's to blame but him. What I'm talking about is this. We don't give a fuck about that shit then. That's not who give a fuck then. We talking about what happened.
Yeah.
And that shit.
And there's not, like you said, like at this point in time, all we know is that Ime is suspended for the season. He's not far from the Celtics yet. And that a woman came out and said Ime gave her an unwanted comment. And that's what we know right now.
Even with the Matt Barnes shit, like, shout out to him for owning up that he was wrong. But I feel like certain people, they be so quick to just want to defend the black man or want to just defend the guy they cool with. We don't have no information when this shit first came out. So why not just sit back and wait instead of, oh, nah, I know Udoka as a man. I know him personally. No way he could have done this. Instead of just, you know what, like you said, I'm going to just shut the fuck up. I'm going to sit here and I'm going to just wait. Everybody want to be in everybody's business all the time. That's the problem. We always want to just know everything. Sit back, relax, just wait. The information going to get out. We got a year. It's going to happen eventually until you find out both sides. Because even though Ime is getting charged with this investigation, even though he's being accused of this, I still don't know what's going on. I still don't know if it's a fact, if it's a fiction, because there's been situations where stuff like this has been lied about. There's been situations where it's been the truth. So I don't know what's going on.
Only reason why it's seeming as if this is fact is because he accepted the 1-year penalty already.
Yeah.
He's not fighting that.
I mean, he can't.
So something happened that either he doesn't feel confident that he can defend himself or he knows he did some other shit.
But how could he fight it?
Well, we know for a fact that
Deshaun swore down that he didn't do what he did. He tried to fight 24, 25 allegations.
But I mean, this ain't
that could be him
in
being stubborn though.
Yeah.
No,
This
but
ain't in a
Ime's
court
not
of
being.
law or nothing though.
No,
Yeah,
Dehls,
it's
I'm just thinking totally, just trying to correlate two situations.
Yeah, no, I get you.
Well, it is fact that he did indeed have an affair.
Yeah, no, that's
Right.
That's
and
locked
that's
in.
against probably the team conduct anyway. So you can't fight that right there.
No, yeah,
that happened.
He broke the
and that's-
code. Like
Yeah.
whatever the team code was, he was getting in trouble regardless. So he broke the code. Whatever happened after that. Now this is just extra shit on if he's gonna get fired or not. This is the extra, but he was gonna get suspended regardless because he broke the code of conduct for the team. Like that was gonna happen. So
Because a lot of what they were saying is if it was consensual, then why are you getting a full season's length suspension?
no, yeah, the fishiness.
It's just
But this is why everybody should
It's
just.
exactly. That's why it makes no sense to try and rush to make an opinion or just to have an opinion put out into the internet. Relax. It's the simple facts.
ESPN does a lot of that, putting their guys out there in the front just to be first, and it's sad for the guys who work for them to just be so quick to. All right, well, I'm gonna do it because it's just clickbait. Like it really is sad because
They
I
go
know
for it,
ESPN
though.
told Stephen A. Stephen A. was going for it. Like, okay, I'm okay with this. I'm
And
gonna
did
do
you
it.
guys? It was funny because I saw the tweet by Stephen A. Smith too after
I didn't even see him.
after they announced that Ime was suspended for the season, because first the report came out,
Yep.
then it was Ime was suspended for the season. Stephen A. tweeted, "Oh, like I'm paraphrasing here because I don't know what he tweeted exactly, but he was like, "Oh, I'm fired up. I can't wait for first take tomorrow. You guys better
10
tune
a.m.
in. You guys
Tune
better
in.
tune
Yeah,
in for
tune
what I'm
in.
about to come
Yeah.
with." You know what I'm saying? Like, hyping up the show. I just think it's just it sucks. Like, we're talking about people's like actual personal lives and a serious situation, and using it to hype up your show and act like you have some grandiose thing to say when he doesn't know the full story of what happened.
I haven't spoke on this. I'm gonna have to tomorrow for our podcast. I'm just cut from a cloth, and anyway, in any time in life, if I don't have the full information, I shut the fuck up. I don't know Ime Udoka. I don't know the young woman. I don't have no affiliation with the Boston Celtics. There's no reason for me to be thirsty to pick a side or formulate an opinion. And because of the position I'm in with my platform, my voice, I just take the responsibility of making sure whatever I speak on and whatever opinion I do formulate, it has to be supported with facts. That's number one. Secondly, it's a lot to take from this. The way that I grew up, because my mom was a teen mom and my aunts and uncles were young, I grew up around older people. So I always look at people's shit and I take what not to do. And all we just talked about ESPN allows me to understand to never be that damn thirsty. Instead of trying to be first, be right and be correct. Secondly, the internet is dangerous and people got to get off Twitter and stop trying to be fucking investigators, because that woman who they was trying to say was the lady is not the lady. And now she got to walk in her life and deal with that shit because motherfuckers on Twitter was trying to say that's who he was having an affair with. And it was oh so wrong. That shit is the stupidest shit I've seen. I'm talking about, I'm seeing posts, I don't blame Ime. This who Ime was with. They was doing this. Like, it's so crazy how people will pick up this thing right here and talk a bunch of bullshit as if they literally was in the fucking room. I cannot believe it. And yeah, the Boston Celtics, though Ime is wrong, and this is all because of him and whatever the situation ends up being, the Boston Celtics got to find some better way to handle this, because I don't know what the fuck is going on still. I don't know what's going on. Because if he did something so bad, which is what it feel like, why is he suspended? Why isn't he out of the
And why
league?
don't
Because
they
if it's
know
that-
fast enough? That's the problem.
Yeah. So I'm confused, because if you did something of what I'm feeling like or the way it sounded, automatic firing and everybody's not going to let you back in the league. Kind of like the Miles Bridges situation, right?
Yep.
Where the Hornets ain't extend him and no other team touched him. That would be the same thing. But then it's like, if it ain't that bad, or if it's not what people are making it seem, why is it 100 game an entire season, and why y'all talking in fucking code? Like,
it's
can some,
weird.
even Matt Barnes was like, it's just not for me to put out there. But man, it's like, can somebody talk? Can somebody talk? If not, I can't be mad at people that's just speculating on Twitter, because at some point the Celtics, Ime, or whatever, gonna have to speak up. Shout out to Brad Stevens for holding down the women in that organization. By the way, 'cause
Absolutely.
that's
Even
just
Kendrick
not-
Perkins said he know what happened. He just didn't want to say. It's like
Yeah,
everybody know.
Here we go.
It-
We about to have everybody saying
See,
they know what happened, but
Isn't
nobody's
that
saying
interesting?
nothing. By the way,
Isn't that interesting? Everyone, when the news first broke, everyone was so quick to formulate an opinion. Now everyone has the facts, but no one wants to say anything.
Weird.
What the hell? What kind of sense does that make?
They be violating. I'm trying to know.
anyway to get some fucking attention.
Like, dude.
Nobody knew shit, and now everybody know. But they
He
ain't
got a
wanna say
point.
nothing.
If it's as bad as what we were talking about before, he should not be in the league.
Like,
But
I'm-
it can't be that bad because he's still.
I'm a rich-
And Woj also said that if he does indeed get fired by the Celtics,
He can still
there
get a
will
job.
be a lot of suitors for him.
Now the Bulls.
This is crazy, man. Just you can't make
Yes.
this up. This is wild, and that's why I still don't feel comfortable really formulating a direct opinion because it's just so loose. It's so loose. Somebody who's doing the stuff that people trying to make it seem to be, they don't get a second opportunity in the league, bro. That's why I was like, damn, when it first was coming out, I didn't say anything, but I'm thinking like, man, did the Celtics like overdo it, or did they kind of panic in case they was missing some information because of how serious this stuff be we seeing with Deshaun Watson? Did they want to make sure, man, we just gonna overly go hard in case this is some? But it's just like now it's just like, man, when you sit and think about it, if that was the case, why wouldn't he be fired? Because you wouldn't have to worry about him getting another job because
We just
ain't nobody
fire and
doing that
charge him.
shit.
Fire him and charge him.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's perfectly said. The second portion of this
Oh
is
shit.
Udoka did lead the Celtics to the finals. Now their interim head coach for the season will be Joe Mazzulla. He's 34 years old, rising name in the coaching ranks.
Wait, he younger than Horford?
Yeah, he's 34 years old.
Hilarious.
He was assistant on Brad Stevens' staff for multiple years. The Celtics opened training camp on September 27th, and the Celtics now have a new coach. Robert Williams is out 8 to 12 weeks. So what do you think about the Celtics going into this season?
You just got to hold the Celtics to that same belief of still they have the talent that is going to compete in the Eastern Conference. But real quick, there was conversations between the owner and Brad about Brad returning back to his role, but he believes in Missoula. And
Brad said,
yes,
fuck that.
yeah, Brad was like, yeah.
In the press conference,
like
Brad
him
was
good.
like, that's not going to happen.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no.
he's good off that.
But he gave his stamp of approval. And to speak about the Celtics team as a whole, you just have to trust the talent on the squad. Of course, Ime and what he did for the boys in the locker room, for what he did for the defensive part of the team, that's one of those things that we'll probably see a little bit of a step back. But ultimately, you got to trust the talent. It's Jason Tatum. It's Jaylen Brown. Marcus Smart, apparently a top 35 player in the NBA,
Wrong.
according to ESPN. Rob Will, whenever he comes back, he's going to
8
be
to 10
the
weeks.
defensive
Well,
anchor
8 to
that he
12.
will be. Yep. 2-3 months, that's tough. But whenever he comes back, he's going to
90
be fine.
days.
That's probably looking like January, early January probably.
yeah.
Al Horford, we got to see how he comes into the season. He was amazing down the stretch for the Celtics, very integral in his part
36.
and their part of going to the NBA Finals. But Father Time, it catches up
Gallinari
with
towards
everyone.
a key thing that does not get brought up. Will Hardy was a big voice on that bench. He is now the Utah Jazz head coach. So you got your head coach gone. You got the second voice that was on that bench, even though Mazzulla has been around for three years, I believe. Will Hardy was the second strongest voice in that huddle behind Ime. He is now gone.
To piggyback off that, they started off terrible last season. This
Correct.
season, the coaching madness. Rob Will, the defensive anchor, their guy down low.
He missed some time, and they still played.
No, but
great
I'm talking about to
basketball.
start the season.
I understand
though.
what you're saying.
He's going to be out for about a long time.
Probably,
They should
yeah.
probably maximum, like just wait it out because they need him more for the playoffs
They
anyway.
rushed him. They rushed him down
yep.
the stretch last season. Screwed him.
Danilo Gallinari tore his ACL. Or he tore his meniscus. He's hurt.
He's
I don't
probably
know
out.
what he specifically did, but he's hurt. He's going to be out for some time. You now are thin on the front court. You know, you have Al Horford. He's 36. Grant Will, he's 6'7". You know, he's not really a great rebounder. It's going to be tough. Now, like you said, you still have Tatum. You still have
They
Brown.
picked up Denzel Valentine, though, bro.
Word. Yeah, that shit didn't move me one bit. He's horrible.
Him silently laughing. You won't be able to see it, but he's silently
he's
cracking up.
He's dog shit. Just, yo, he's really garbage. It's going to be interesting. You know, the East got a lot better. Got really fucking good.
They still added Brogdon. That was a huge addition.
He's also an injury-prone guy. He doesn't play a lot. We talk about the Bulls.
You're right.
This is another team. But I think they'll still be fine. They'll still be hovering around top 5. When you have Tatum, who's still ascending into an elite player. You have Jaylen Brown, who's still ascending. Marcus Smart, the voice on the court, he's still going to be there. I think the defense is going to take a step back. Obviously, you miss your rim protector. You miss your switchable big. But they'll still have 4 to 5 guys out there that can guard for the most part. The philosophy will be there. I think a coach is most important in the playoffs because adjustments. Coaches are very important for adjustments in the playoffs and fly by the way they can just scheme up against other teams and the way they create mismatches. So in the playoffs, that's going to be tough to miss. I mean, like, Azula is his name. He has been on the staff, but he wasn't the guy. You know, it's different. Udoka was the guy. So it is tough. Will Hardy, he was the voice. So now it's tough because now this is a new guy. You're bringing in another new coach. You just had a new coach last year. You don't have your big for the first 3 months of the season. It's going to be tough.
But this is where Marcus Smart actually puts his top 35 into use because he
top 35 is bullshit.
I'm making a joke, obviously.
Oh, okay.
But I'm also being serious when I say his leadership and what he means to the team.
They beat versatility last season. So the best bet is they can do it again.
Definitely.
You bet on them to do it again. But it's you just wanted to see this team walk into the season fully healthy with their guys. This was the team that we all thought could definitely make another run at the title. This is a team we thought can still, based off the way it ended last year, they can be the best defense in the league. But we just want to see that consistency, and it's tough that we won't be able to see because they won't be fully healthy.
They playing with house money. You don't have your coach, Robert Williams.
They got hella excuses.
Already hurt. Yeah, they got hella excuses.
They do.
But like Drew keeps saying, the talent is there. You still got Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum. It's starting in with them. Not to take away from Ime's coaching or anybody's coaching.
What's your favorite the more is less theory?
More is less.
No,
less is more.
Less is more theory. Less is more.
I think one thing's certain is that they're not going to start as poorly this season as they did last season. Like, I at least don't expect that.
Right.
I don't expect that. So because of that, I think they'll be just fine. It really is just about what you mentioned with the adjustments in the playoffs and all those other X's and O's stuff. But I think they still should be a playoff team, and
100%.
They still have the talent to make it to the NBA Finals.
There is no excuse to not make the playoffs. No excuse.
No, forget about the plan. It needs to be a playoff.
It needs to be a playoff. Hoorah.
I'm with you.
This week in the NBA. Now, my this week in the NBA was not in the NBA, but somebody who was propped up to be the guy in the NBA, Amani Bates. He's facing 2 felony gun charges after being pulled over in Michigan. And you tweeted about this, Riff, that social media is hyping up these kids too fast.
Tweet got some love.
Pee-wee, we had you on the show, your very first appearance, talking about how Imani Bates, you weren't a big fan of his game and what he did in Memphis. But I think this situation is a bit heartbreaking for somebody that was at the top of the world in terms of the basketball sense, and he's fallen off from grace. Not only leaving the Division I program to go to a much lesser school, but now not even probably going to play basketball because he's facing 2 felonies. I think it is a heartbreaking story.
I think people misconstrued what I said. A few people thinking I was blaming his community for why he was messing up. No, I just think people put so much pressure.
You had a lot of people interact with that, so there's a plethora of opinions, but I think you put it perfectly.
We put too much pressure on these young kids to succeed. And, of course, the pressure comes with the game, but there should never be a time where you're 12 years old, 13 years old, and you're dubbed the future of the league. I feel like that's just ludicrous. That's something that shouldn't be put out. And that's putting just too much on a young kid who has yet to experience puberty, who has yet to experience a prom. Like,
I see both sides there.
There shouldn't be another side, in my opinion.
I feel see like both sides too.
We should let these kids grow up, and because that's already putting a stamp on them and putting a mark on them.
Only reason why
that's what he worked hard for. That's
exactly,
what he wants.
Exactly.
Him and his father wanted that title. That's
true.
What they strove for, and they put all the hours in the gym that they did for him to get as talented as he is. They did that to have that claim.
What about the kids that don't, though? That just go out there and just hoop.
That's called that's the motivation. You want to talk about Imani? You want to talk about LeBron? You want to talk about Luka? Why aren't you talking about me?
What do you mean?
Playing the basketball
I'm talking
that
the
I
grand
played
scheme.
in my life, being around the game, my little brother playing now, I don't know one person who put the work in to not have that. Introduce me to a motherfucker who put in 50 extra hours over the course of 2 weeks, who turns down social life activities as a teenager
100%.
to go to the gym and makes those sacrifices. Introduce me to that one kid who telling you he doing all that to not have that title. I would love to meet him.
The future of
I
the
want to
league?
meet the kid
Like
who
Mikey
stays
loves that
extra
attention.
3 hours
LeBron-
and tells you,
Bronny
I
James
don't want to
don't.
be on the cover of Slam magazine. What high school kid? Listen to some of the stories. Kids that ain't even go to the prom. Introduce me to the kid who put that much work in to not want to be on the cover of Slam magazine, or who doesn't want to be the top ranked player, or who doesn't want Division
I think
I.
being a top ranked player is different than being a future face of the NBA.
That's what comes with
Like
that.
you don't think
Almost
Zion didn't
every
eat it
number
up?
one
Zion didn't like it. He came out and he said he didn't like being that type of popular. He didn't at all. Bronny Jr. don't like all that publicity either.
The thing that Bronny
but I
James,
think
he
that's the
doesn't get the
difference.
attention because
That's what I'm talking about though. The publicity part. I'm not talking about the basketball landscape. Of course you want to be the number one ranked player. Of course you want to be on the cover of a sports mag. But I'm talking about the publicity part of it all. You shouldn't have to go through that.
it's called
Rib,
exposure.
that's the difference, though. That's the difference. To not like it is different from knowing that it's going to come with it. You cannot like some shit. I cannot like certain things about a fucking 2K, but I'm knowing it's going to be on the game. I'm knowing it.
That's true.
So I have to prepare for it. I don't think nothing wrong with that. The problem is, and I can't speak for Imani Bates personally, but these kids that do get hyped, they don't have anybody around them holding them accountable. And that's what I
100%.
said, Joel. It's not that I did not like Imani Bates' game. He's 6'9", can shoot, got ISO moves. What's to not like? What I don't like is the optics. The fact that everything is controlled by him and his camp. His dad created an entire fucking school. It don't work. When everything is molded around you, the first time in life, it don't work. It ain't like that. Hence Memphis. All hell breaks loose. All hell breaks loose. The first time it wasn't built for Imani to do whatever the fuck he wanted to do. It didn't have success. It did not have success. And now, again, I don't know him and his people, so I'm not trying to put anything on them. But then you go to Eastern Michigan. Now you're riding around with a gun. I'm just saying, if my little brother was ever able to be as good or have that much hype, I'll tell you, he's not having no gun. It's no way in hell.
No.
It's no way in hell. It's no way in
Gotta
hell.
have
My
the right
dad just
people
called
in
me
your
2 days
circle.
ago, and my dad said, "Hey, let me know if I'm wrong, P. Your little brother want to go to export." I said, "Cool." He told me he was going with his homie Connor. Then he called me back and said he going with Connor's friend. He said, "I don't know who the fuck Connor's friend is, so EJ not gonna be able to go." Because it's like, and I say you're not wrong, because if Connor's friend get pulled over with weed, nobody's gonna give a fuck about Connor's friend. It's going to say EJ Breland, a high school basketball star, arrested for weed charges. Nobody gonna give, like, even the Imani Bates situation.
Facts.
It may not be Imani Bates' gun. His attorney said that it was the person's car he was borrowing's gun. That may be the entire truth. Nobody gives a fuck about the person's car he borrowed. They care about Imani Bates. Boom. You got to put people around you that's going to hold you accountable and tell you the shit you don't want to hear. Because the shit you need to hear is usually what you don't want to hear, but you need to hear it anyway. So that's what they do. Stop putting these kids up and hyping them up and then telling them they shit don't stink. Because the reality is they shit do stink. And a lot of these guys are highly ranked. They get into that league and LeBron James is in that motherfucker. Luka Doncic is in that motherfucker. And oh yeah, now you're a role player. You're not dunking on Timmy who's trying to be a fucking doctor. That's the reality. A lot of these niggas is gonna be role players.
I'm a nurse.
And Pierre, you said that perfectly, and thank you for clarifying that, because I did misspeak about what you said, because you did say it was built around Imani, and in Memphis he didn't adjust to a role he was given because he was always the superstar in wherever he was. And you're right. With all these social media mixtapes that go up, everybody telling you that you're the best, you're on Slam Magazine, heralded as the next LeBron James, when you don't have somebody there to hold you accountable for your mistakes, this is how things can end up. And unfortunately, this is the total opposite of the spectrum. Because at worst, we probably thought Amani was going to make it to, get drafted, second round pick, make a team, try to claw his way into the NBA. But this is unexpected for him to, this is felonies. Like, this is fucking serious.
Yeah.
This is not just basketball. This is his life.
I'm rooting for the kid, and I'm praying for him, because this is the type of shit that people lose their minds about. Like, one of my favorite college players ever, Tyler Honeycutt, rest in peace. He killed himself, and he had a shootout with the police. I'm not sure if y'all familiar. And his mom came out and said he was going through a lot, because it dawned on him he's not going to the NBA. That was hard for him to accept, that he put that all into his life, and he won't. So now you have these situations where you're the man. You're Slam Magazine. Slam Magazine means the world to me, because as a kid, my dad collected them all. I know it might not be the same in 2020, but to be on the cover of Slam Magazine is a very big fucking deal as a high school player. To go from that to now, like Joel said, have a felony. You fuck around, can't even go to Toronto no more. Like, I got some homies that got some felonies. Certain shit come with felonies. You know what I mean? Certain shit come with felonies beyond the jail time.
That's
so
facts.
It's tough. So I'm hoping that we can, this can come full circle and be a special fucking 30 for 30 story about a kid who went through all this, but still somehow found stardom in the league, because a lot of shit comes with this that a lot of people don't think about. It's automatic. Oh yeah, he might not play this year. Fuck this year. He's going to have to carry on the rest of his life being a guy that was this close. That's what people are going to look at him as. So, it's tough, man. It's a very tough subject. I'm never here on some I told you so. I wanted that to happen. I want every kid to make it. I'm just talking about the realities. That's all. But I'm rooting for. I have no reason to root against anybody. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So, but it's tough, bro. It's tough. It's tough.
Be real.
Yeah, no cap. I mean, listen, P, you could be right, but it's unfortunate that it had to be in a situation like this. You know what I mean? It's like, you never envisioned something like this to happen to Amani, and now it's that's what it just seemed like that from the beginning. No, that's not what it was. It's just you had an inclination. It's not like you were plotting on it at all. To shift topics, I understand that we're going from one extreme to something that's not really that huge of a deal, but kind of big implications on the NBA. The NBA new take foul. That now in transition, if you try to just foul someone to stop the transition break, for them getting an easy bucket, now they get a free throw attempt and the ball back. Now they're basically doing this to promote more defense, because in their words, a lot of the exciting basketball that occurs is on the defensive side of the ball, and now they're encouraging teams to play defense, but also at the same time, now we see the highlight plays in transition. I like this rule, personally. I thought that the transition foul was always bullshit, to be honest with you. There's no reason for that to be allowed, and then to just stop play, take the ball out from the side. We want to see the transition plays. We want to see the offense get going. A bunch of LeBron's greatest highlights are in transition on a wide open break. I'm just being completely honest. But
like
now, of course, but now there is consequence for that, and it should make games a lot more exciting.
That should be fucking me up in 2K.
They changed it in 2K
yes,
also.
I get that because I always reach.
I thought that's why you just brought it up, because it's been on my mind.
I always reach after they get a rebound, because I try to get like that quick steal, and they transition foul, foul,
one
free
shot
throw,
and the ball.
Yeah, I'll be like, fuck.
I like that personally.
That shit
Let's
cost
be
me a
real.
game one time. It was 98.
I like it too.
It was 98-99, and I just missed like a go-ahead shot to get one-on-one. I fucking reached with DeJounte. Take foul and ball. Dude made the free throw, and then LeBron hit the game winner.
That take foul used to fuck up the floor games.
Yeah,
man.
I was hurt. But my this week in the NBA is Lonzo Ball. They're going back in to fix his knee. It's pretty simple. I ain't really about to dig in deep into all the funny, weird-ass names. They're going back in to fix his knee. Whatever they happened before, he keeps one day he's 100%, the next day he's 50%. There's still a tweak in his knee. So they're going back to fix his knee, and hopefully he'll be reevaluated in about 4 to 8 weeks. Hopefully at that moment he'll be ready to play.
2 months, 1 month to 2 months is not bad at all, bro.
And this is giving the opportunity for Io to start and begin his accelerated process to be a really good
Is
player.
Io starting over Caruso?
He should start over Caruso.
I don't know if he should.
I don't like Caruso as a starting point guard. I really don't like him as a starting point guard. But I hope Io should start.
know.
If Caruso starts, though, it's not a problem for me either way. But I want Io to start. It accelerates his
progression. I'm with you. I see where you're coming from.
Hopefully big things for him. But yeah, hopefully Lonzo gets better.
Facts.
Y'all know I always come with my this week in NBA.
You a lie.
Pick a side, P. Nah, he's not lying. He always does
You know
come
what
with
I'm
one.
saying?
He gets tight at us when we skip him.
The NBA and the NBA Players Association are expected to agree on moving the age eligibility for the NBA draft from 19 to 18, clearing the way for the return of high school players making the NBA leap. Per sources, the reduced age limit for high school to NBA jump would go into effect as early as the 2024 NBA draft. That's major. If they did this 3 years ago, Imani.
I was going to
right
say
now.
the same shit.
Shit, he'd have been here. We didn't have to worry about a damn thing.
He'd be on the Pistons with K. It'd be K, Imani, and Ivy.
Yep, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's well overdue though. There's really no reason to go to college for basketball, especially since you're doing it's one and done.
So let me ask you a question: what does this do to the G League, though? The G League.
I feel like the G League now becomes a more established league.
No, you know what I'm talking about, though. The shit with the young players when they pick either college or the I forgot what it's called.
G
I think
League?
Shit,
Ignite.
more of them probably become eligible because you have to meet certain criteria. I don't think any high school player can go.
Well, yeah, they usually
think you
pick the best of the best, but
Right.
you could just go
So
now.
now they probably just drop that.
Well, they
shit
ain't because they ain't
man,
gonna pick the best. The best just gonna go to the fucking league. Like, yeah, I'm
back.
out.
So now you can probably try out, and if you one of them niggas who underrated, you might can make the team.
I need to get
That's
up.
an
Because
interesting
there's
question, though.
because there's not just 18-year-olds walking around that are good enough to be in the G League.
They need to scoop me.
You got to be really really fucking good.
I'm about
For
to go
that.
try out.
In
I'm about
this
to do it.
show,
You know what I'm gonna do one day? I'm gonna do a vlog. Like, yo, try out at a G League. See how this shit look. just see
That'd
how,
be fire content.
just see
That
how the
would.
film. Like, yo, make a fake name, fake yo.
Nah, you ain't gonna. You got a McDonald's cup, and before this happens, you got a McDonald's
Yo,
bag.
come on. Ocho Cinco be a
That's
huge
the whole,
advocate.
but Pete, that's the whole point of the
No.
troll. I go in there,
Ocho Cinco was McDonald's
breakfast,
Coke.
He was just breakfast.
That is he's not. He's McDonald's everything, high key.
But Pee Wee, that's the whole point of the
McDonald's
joke, bro.
Coke.
I go in there with the McDonald's. My name is Roger. I'm 17 years old.
Roger.
Number 81 ranked
Roger.
player in the country, and I'm just here to try.
They gonna
out
know
for-
you lying right there. Ain't no 17-year-olds in 2023 named Roger.
That's the point, though. I go in there like I'm just trying out. I'm a point guard. You know what I'm saying? I'm out here from Jersey.
well, you could
What
you
if
could
you
probably
made it?
That'd be hilarious. Not tell them I'm ringing. I'm like
you could
26.
probably sneak by. I mean, you don't have any facial hair. You know.
See my shit fake growing in though. Y'all see it's been.
Fake is the word.
That's crazy. See me? I go in there.
We always do a would you rather on this show, especially since Pierre is here. We got to do a would you rather.
Let's go.
This is would you rather Carmelo Anthony edition.
This was you. caught
These
us by
are
surprise.
players at their absolute prime. First name up.
Wait. Are you saying Melo's at his peak?
Yes.
That's what prime
Okay.
means.
No, I thought he was. Shut up,
Just saying. Idiot.
First name up,
Lakers fan.
Paul George.
Paul George.
Oh.
You know I'm.
Go, Drew.
I'm going Melo.
You're casual.
No, I'm not.
Joel, go ahead.
See, he knows the answer because he's a Paul George guy and he's trying to push it off. He knows the answer.
If he a Paul George guy, he's picking Paul George.
Nah, he's.
I'm going with Paul George.
I made a TikTok on this. Y'all go Coach Riv 16.
What Joel at to give his?
He knows the answer.
Give me Paul George.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. P, you
It was
mean that?
tough.
You mean that, P?
It was tough. Paul George did some incredible
He is.
things.
He's
with
amazing.
the Indiana
I mean, he
Pacers.
beat Carmelo in the playoffs.
And he can
He did.
guard.
that as a Knicks fan, that series that's
Y'all was supposed to win that too, right?
It was
Yeah,
heartbreaking.
we were favored. DJ Augustine was hitting shit. Nah,
He was.
come on.
He
David West
bugging.
was cooking out of your ass.
Roy Hibbert blocked
Roy
the Melo
Hibbert
dunk.
tweaked.
Oh yeah, I remember that block. He blocked
that blah. Oh my gosh.
Now that one playoff series had people talking crazy about Roy Hibbert.
Next name, Andre Iguodala.
What the fuck?
Carmelo Anthony.
Carmelo.
Sweep.
I'm
Carmelo
going Carmelo.
Oh, another this week in the NBA. Andre Iguodala is returning for his 19th season.
Yes.
Cute. He's going to be Adonis Haslam.
Absolutely.
Kevin Durant.
KD.
Kevin Durant clearing.
Kevin Durant.
I'm going KD too. Sean Marion.
Ooh.
Now this is would you
Carmelo.
rather.
Carmelo Anthony. Carmelo Anthony. Why are you talking about ooh and thinking
Yeah,
about
that's
it?
what I'm saying.
Come on now.
Stop sleeping on Sean Marion. Casuals.
No, you sleeping on
Casuals.
Carmelo.
Yeah, you are.
Now give me
sleeping on
Melo though, but
Yeah,
I
thank
fuck
you.
with Sean. I do fuck with Sean.
I'm going with
I hate his
Carmelo.
jumper though.
Tracy McGrady.
Ooh.
Carmelo Anthony.
Ooh.
I'm sorry, T-Mac. I love you.
This is a nasty
Carmelo.
one too, but give me Melo.
At their peak, I'm going Tracy.
It's close.
Paul
Carmelo was
Pierce.
a winning player, man.
I was gonna say.
Carmelo's a winning player.
Paul Pierce and Melo?
Paul Pierce.
Oh shit! Give me Carmelo.
Give me the truth.
That's a good one. This is actually.
If you say a winning player,
yeah,
give me the truth.
Yeah.
No, I was saying winning in comparison to Tracy McGrady.
Oh yeah, Tracy's a complete loser.
But I mean, his teams are bad, but still, Melo went as a rookie was significant on that Nugget team
No,
making
facts.
the playoffs.
Give me the
Yeah.
truth. I'll take the truth slightly. It's close.
All right,
you put
before-
Carmelo with that big three, they win more than one. Give me Melo.
That's a good answer. Let me ask before I answer mine. Paul George or Paul Pierce?
I think Paul
Paul
George is
George.
better than Paul Pierce.
All right, I'm going
He's just-
Melo. I'm
he
going
just don't got
Melo
the
over
ring.
Pierce.
I'm going Carmelo Anthony too. Ron Artest.
Carmelo Anthony.
Carmelo. Ron Artest was pretty
he
cute
won
on the
Defensive
Pacers.
Player of the
Yeah, he
Year.
was.
But let me
He
get Melo.
averaged 23 in
Yeah,
Indiana.
I'll take Melo.
I'm going with Carmelo too. Grant Hill.
We didn't get to see it.
That's tragic.
Oh.
If Grant Hill never got injured, it would not even been a question.
We
Yeah.
didn't get to see it. Give me Melo. I didn't get to see it.
I'm going Melo, but if Detroit, Grant Hill had
That's
a longer time,
Yeah.
we talking about LeBron or Grant Hill. Like Grant Hill was that good.
P, you lose me.
MJ still in the
I was
combo,
ready.
bro.
I was like,
Relax.
yeah. P, talk to him. LeBron.
Grant Hill was that
Fuck.
good to me.
Now he was tough.
Grant
bro.
was
Yeah,
nasty.
motherfucker.
He was tough.
He was
Grant was
playing like
nasty.
Giannis before Giannis.
He was tough. He was cooking Scotty bum ass.
No jump shot, just getting to that cup and fucking you up.
No doubt. If he
I'm gonna
played,
take Melo.
if he
though.
reached his peak that he could have, it would have been Grant. But I'm going Melo.
I'm going Carmelo Anthony as well. Now, these last two are bonus questions. They don't play the same position as Melo, but they were great players during the same era.
Okay.
Dwight Howard.
Dwight.
Carmelo.
This one is tough.
Yeah, it is. I can't even argue with anybody taking the white.
Yeah, I'll take Dwight. Give me that big old stop.
Dwight was dominant as shit, man.
That boy got Zach
It just
Levine
felt
bounce.
so short to me, man. For some reason, it felt so short. I feel like when I think of Melo, that shit feel like a
was
real
forever.
decade
It was
plus.
forever.
It's because he had two teams that he was Carmelo on.
Give me Dwight. He got Zach Levine bounce, and he's 6'11".
He was a
That shit
defensive
is
beast.
nuts.
Three-time defense player of the
He's
year
jumping out the
in a row.
Yeah,
Damn.
Dwight. Whew. Yeah, I'll take Dwight. I ain't mad at the Melo pick though.
I'm leaning Melo, but Dwight is definitely in that conversation.
I was thinking about going Dwight because Dwight led the
Yeah,
Magic to the
yep.
2009 finals.
That team was good, though.
But the Nuggets faced off against the Lakers
And
in the
lost.
Western Conference
And
Finals
get
in
him more of a
2009,
run.
and they lost in 7.
Yeah.
And I think if the Nuggets win that, they beat the shit out of Orlando. So I'm going with Carmelo.
That's good logic right there.
I could see it.
Melo would have had a ring. Also, Detroit not drafting Melo fucked his career up.
Chauncey Billups was just
For
talking
sure.
on it.
Without a
He would have
doubt.
had his ring. He'd have been set.
The only thing that,
It
that
ain't fucked
Chauncey
Chauncey
said,
career up.
the only thing that Chauncey said that I did not like, and obviously there should be no surprise about this, he said that if Melo got drafted, it would have been when is LeBron's time to take over.
That's
The
a fact.
The Pistons
lose
made
me
the
there.
Eastern Conference Finals from like
Do they still get-
2003 to 2000.
Do they still get Rasheed
Or
Wallace?
2008, I believe. There was a 5-year stretch where they made an ECF every year.
Do they still give Rasheed? Do they need to?
No.
I think so. To complete the defense.
Rasheed Wallace. I'm sorry. I'm thinking about
Rasheed was the reason they won.
They got Rasheed
No,
Wallace
Rasheed
for
was my favorite on that team.
they got Rasheed for a bag of chips.
really?
They got
I don't
He got
remember, like,
traded
the trade.
twice.
Yeah,
He
they
got
got him
traded
for
to the
nothing.
Hawks.
Shout
and
out,
then
shout out to him. They still
They
get him.
don't do that no more. You can't get traded twice.
But then who? So
And
they,
Chauncey
they don't
and
take
Chauncey
Prince?
said-
that's
Chaun-
that's what I
Chauncey
was
said that
thinking,
Tayshaun Prince would have happily came off the bench.
Oh well, then shout out to them because Tayshaun they needed him.
Yeah, Tayshaun.
He was the
like that.
lockup.
So the last
That was
name,
that boy.
Blake Griffin.
Carmelo
Hello.
Anthony.
Max Kellerman's too funny for that one.
That's why I put him
yeah,
in.
yeah.
Yeah,
Carmelo.
give me Melo.
I'm going
And I like
Carmelo,
Blake
too.
Griffin.
So do
but-
I.
Yo, Tayshaun
People's-
Prince don't get
people's-
talked about enough. For real. Like I gotta show some love to
facts.
Tayshaun Prince. His light skin ass. He
Tayshaun
really
can
locks
play
shit
right
up.
now.
Yeah, he
He'd
can
be
easily.
a great 3-and-D guy right now.
He locks shit up. He really like Respectfully.
Bridges.
No, he's better.
Mikal
But
Bridges.
yeah. But I get you. Yeah, he better than
Mikal was too high in the top
Mikal,
100 too.
Prince wouldn't get cooked like that. Nobody's little man in Prince. Come on. Mikal Bridges is getting posted up. He getting pushed on the floor. Come on.
So we're going to give our reactions to the top 10 players in the ESPN Top 100 list and also give a few takeaways that we have. Now, the top 10 is number 1, Giannis, 2, Jokic, 3, Luka, 4, Embiid, 5, Curry, 6, LeBron, 7, Tatum, 8, KD, 9, Ja, and 10, D Book. Now, Riv, I know you're a Steph Curry fan, and when you saw him here at 5, you were probably distraught. So what's your opinion on this list and Steph being at 5?
So you want me to just give all my problems now?
Yeah, you could, yeah.
Okay, he's not in the top 10. The fuck is going on? I love Ja Morant. I adore Ja Morant. I think he's a fine young basketball player. He's not a top 10 basketball player in the NBA.
Is he better than Trey?
No, he is not better than Trae Young. I actually don't see the argument for why they both don't guard, and Trae Young is a significantly better offensive player than him. So I don't get where
significantly is strong when he still averaged 27 this year.
They both did, and one averaged a double-double
True.
and led the league in total assists.
And did it before this.
Facts.
Yeah. So Tatum is just a little too high for me. I have him at 9. I don't have him at 7. Kawhi is not in the top 10.
Tatum's 8. I'm pretty sure.
I thought I heard.
Was
7.
KD over Tatum or was it?
No,
the other way
KD is
around?
8.
I apologize.
KD is
Yep.
8.
There it is. So Tatum is a little too high, just a little bit. Nothing too crazy. Kawhi's not in the top 10, which is just stupid.
It makes sense though.
Doesn't make sense. What
Let me not say makes sense. I understand it.
What
I
you've
apologize.
last seen from Kawhi, there aren't 11 basketball players better than that. So that's just wrong. Embiid isn't a top 5 player in the NBA to me. I have 5 players ahead of him. I think he's a little too high. And Steph not being in the top 5 is just dumb.
He is in the top 5.
I mean, Steph being lower than 3 after just having an historically great finals
Correct.
and having Celtics players call him daddy is really disrespectful. I think at this point, they were calling this defense the best defense since the fucking Detroit Pistons in 2004, and Steph Curry lit them up for 30 points a game, and he's not over Mr. I'm a runner-up in MVP, and I've never made a conference finals in Joel Embiid. I think that's just nonsense. I think it's stupid.
And what about Luka?
Luka, he beat Luka.
He did, but
He has to go over him. He won a ring. He should be a top 3 player, top 4. I will accept. I wouldn't like it, but I'll accept top 5 is where you get me off wrong.
So let me ask you, should Giannis have been the number 1 player in the NBA off last season?
I would have had Joker, but I don't mind Giannis at 1.
No. Last year, KD was ranked the number 1 player by ESPN, even though he lost to Milwaukee.
I think Giannis should have been ranked last year. Number 1.
He should have been number 1.
Yeah,
All right,
yeah.
keep that same energy. I'm fine with that.
Been
Okay.
ranked. Yeah, Giannis. But I'm saying that Giannis should. He wasn't ranked last year. Number 1.
Giannis was number
They put
2
KD?
last year. KD was 1.
Can I ask y'all a question?
Yep.
I don't really have much to say about this list shit, but can I ask y'all what's the criteria to what they based in this?
I'll tell you what, that's an excellent question.
I guess
We were talking about it earlier too, and I don't know what the criteria is. Is it projection? Is it how valuable a player is to a playoff team? Because it doesn't make sense. Because, for example, Marcus Smart is ranked over Darius Garland. Darius Garland projects to be better than Smart. He is better than Marcus Smart
already,
and he's more valuable to a playoff team than Marcus Smart. So
he's just more valuable to the
yeah,
game of basketball.
There is no reason why that should be the case. Like for one, the top 10 I think is ridiculous. I think Steph Curry is top 3 minimum. Embiid I would have at like 6, 7 around that area. I think D Book and Ja Morant are not top 10 players. They got those wrong. My biggest problem was, for one, D'Angelo Russell was ranked 93rd behind Jordan Clarkson.
Why is this the first thing that comes out of
Buddy Hield and Mike Conley.
On some real shit though, that's a good point because I'm looking at the
that is, but I didn't know he was ranked that low.
93rd.
The top 10 is the top 10. You know what I mean? That's arguable. Yeah. That's nitpicking. But when I'm seeing like Karis LeVert is 80 and Jonas Valanciunas is 84. Ooh. How the fuck is Karis LeVert a better player than Jonas Valanciunas? He damn straight ain't more valuable.
Fuck that. How do you find 83 players better than Valanciunas?
Is Karis LeVert better than Anthony Simons?
No.
Simons was mad.
Karis is not better than D'Lo.
No.
That's a fact too. For sure. D'Lo is criminal.
We could joke about D'Lo all we want.
Yeah, but he ain't better. I ain't gonna go that far.
Like for example, D'Lo was ranked below. The 3 players I wanted to point out were Clarkson, Hield, and Conley.
Role players.
Mike Conley had a worse regular season. He had a worse playoffs. Buddy Hield has never been a pivotal part of a playoff team.
Yep.
Clarkson, 6 man.
We know how they're ranking this. Clickbait.
And then there are 3 players ranked over Darius Garland that I thought were interesting. Marcus Smart, of course, being one of them, but really, who gives a fuck about Marcus Smart? Tyrese Maxey, DeJounte Murray, and LaMelo Ball.
All wrong answers.
All over
but
Garland.
LaMelo I left it fine. Because there's conversation. You and I have even had dialogue that you said, I can see it, but I'll take Garland, correct?
Where was LaMelo ranked?
30-something? Nothing crazy.
Garland's at 40?
But that was wrong. And listen, I have that written down exactly. I have Maxey, Murray, Clay, and Draymond all ranked above Garland is crazy.
I think Wiggins, too.
Wiggins was
and Zion Williamson is at 40.
That was crazy as hell. It's like, where's the consistency here?
So he's at 40 on the head, 40 on the dot.
40 flat.
There was 39 players, according to ESPN, better than Zion Williamson.
So they got Fred VanVleet above
Facts.
Zion Williamson.
Ew.
Klay Thompson is above Zion Williamson. Evan Mobley, Cade Cunningham, Marcus Smart.
They had
Kyrie. Wiggins is above Zion. It's kind of crazy. I'm still on the back end with some of the head scratcher shit because I look at a guy specifically, and again, I ain't trying to really go in on no player, so no shit like that. But I'm looking at Jalen Green, who had a very good rookie year, especially the second half. He's at 62. I'm gonna name some guys that he's higher than.
That's too high.
Off top, RJ Barrett. He's above RJ Barrett, who's right behind him at 63. Jeremy Grant, Russell Westbrook, Miles Turner. I don't think Jalen Green at this point is more valuable than Miles Turner.
Wait, all those players are above JV? Valanciunas?
No,
Jalen
Green. All these, but all these players are also behind Jalen Green.
That's tough.
Jalen Brunson is 67. Jalen Green is what, 62? I said, 62.
Jalen Green went on a stretch to end the season. Well,
Desmond Bane is 68. 28.
Desmond Bane was pretty low.
That's the one you have.
I like Desmond Bane a lot.
No,
that's not my main gripe. My main gripe was
Bojan Anunoby is 75.
Yeah, that was crazy.
I think the only thing.
OG Anunoby.
He's 79.
I think the only
75.
thing ESPN got right with this list is that 3 Timberwolves players made the top 25. The only team that had 3 players in the top 25.
Who the fuck are the 3?
Cat, Gobert, and Ant-Man.
Are they all top
Ant-Man
25?
was 25.
I think you can argue Ant's not top 25.
If you're projecting, you can say
the list is very
unbalanced. Yeah, I know.
But those other 2,
because Zion, you could argue that he should be in the top 25.
That's right. Okay, Minnesota's cool. I can be okay with that.
So real quick, my one issue with the top 10, and I'm surprised no one's mentioned it. Jimmy Butler, after this past postseason, where he averaged over 27.
What number was he?
He was 17. And in 17 postseason games, 27 points, 7 rebounds, basically 5
You know what
assists.
his problem is? He's a mid-ass regular season player.
See, but you know what? And not that Kawhi's mid in the regular season, because he's definitely not. But he elevates in the playoffs.
But wait.
Can stop taking
Butler's
it
only
because
elevated 2 times in the playoffs.
But it's been 2 out of the last 3 seasons.
Kawhi's
and I'm
mid
saying
playoffs
we're going
like,
off this season. Listen, I'm not trying to compare.
But he had an absolute stinker, though.
Like 2.
But he was by himself. Not that he wasn't by himself. And the year, not this past season, the year beforehand.
He had the same team, bro.
And that team was ass.
Well, no, Hero's ass. That's the problem here. He's literally dog shit.
So to continue my point, he was 1 game away from the NBA Finals, and that was all on his shoulders. He was all-world. He elevated significantly from the regular season to the postseason. Now, yes, I want to finish this statement. He's not Kawhi Leonard. He'll never be Kawhi Leonard. But Kawhi Leonard elevates his play from the regular season to the postseason, and everyone loses their goddamn mind. Jimmy Butler does it where Jimmy was averaging a modest 21, elevates to 27, 28 points per game, and we have him 17th?
Kawhi goes from 26 to like 32. That's the difference.
No
And
doubt. No,
wins championships.
Kawhi's on a different level.
In the defense,
You making your argument bad by focusing on Kawhi.
I'm not trying to focus on Kawhi. I'm trying to use him as an example where people
James Harden is a good example. He's 11.
Well, bottom line,
but he drops.
yeah, that's why you
line-
should have used him.
But
I'm trying to just correlate it where-
I know what you're saying, though.
Yes.
I know what you're saying.
Harden dropping in the playoffs is
Minimal,
as
yes.
good as Butler at his best in the playoffs.
Harden being 11 is fucking terrible.
He was 1 game away from the ECF against one of the best defenses in the NBA.
Butler.
Yes.
Yeah, he was.
And Harden
you gotta
was
respect him.
one
You gotta
game
respect
away from beating the best team ever assembled in history.
But the difference is Game 6,
That's not-
you saw
this is
Jimmy
not- wait,
Butler
wait.
put on a
All you got-
virtuoso
Drew.
in Boston.
All you
and
got to do is say
choked it.
this.
Yeah,
This isn't 2018,
I know,
2019
I know,
no more.
I
This
know.
is 22, buddy.
Or use Karl-Anthony Towns. Towns is 13th. No way after
there's-
Jimmy Butler's playoff is
See,
he higher
that's
than Jimmy
listen.
Butler.
I would say even Devin Booker. I can't look at Devin Booker
Butler's
right
better
now
than
and say
Booker right now.
that's what I'm saying.
Well, Harden's gonna be better than Butler after this season.
I would take Jimmy Butler over Ja Morant too. Yes,
That's fine.
There's just a lot of names above him right now that
Ja Moran is
disrespect.
super high. Ja Moran is super high.
John Morant's
He
too
is.
high. He's
He's
not a
very,
top
very
10
high.
player right now.
Yeah, for
Cat
sure.
is too fucking high.
And also, yes, you mentioned it with Joel Embiid very briefly. Him being him being 4 over Curry, over LeBron, over KD. You mentioned it, Kawhi is crazy.
Y'all better than me. I can't get this shit too much attention because they ain't.
Honestly,
there is no criteria.
you're
They
saving
want us
yourself.
To come in here and
It's
react.
clickbait.
That's yeah, it's,
You're
yeah.
doing yourself a favor.
we just got them-
We're the fools. We're
That's
the fools,
case.
actually.
If that's the case, so we're gonna go to the last topic on the show.
Nice.
Our biggest takeaway from Ben Simmons' interview with JJ Reddick. I feel like the world's been waiting for Ben Simmons to speak on his side, to talk about his side of the story and what happened in Philly with the Nets and all that other stuff. Now, Drew, Pierre, and me all thought that this was a very brutally honest interview. Riv, you kind of felt a bit differently, so that's why I want to start with you.
I've been waiting all episode for this because he came in here and said, "So
Yo,
go ahead, Rick, 'cause
JJ
I've
was
been waiting to hear this."
dick riding.
Yeah, that's exactly what he said. And I love Ben Simmons. That's my boy. That's twin. So I'm ready.
That's a bad twin. But listen,
That's my twin.
that's bad twin. He's not that
He's
good.
handsome.
He got hundreds of M's. That's
No,
a great
he's
twin.
listen, we talking about the money. He's big twin, but we talk about that basketball court. You know what I'm saying? But
The bag came from the court.
that's facts. That's facts. The bag came from the hype. The hype.
The what?
The hype.
Not the All NBA, not the All
I don't know
Defensive
how the fuck he made All NBA.
because he was nice.
He averaged the same points. He was a 16 point. You know what? Whatever. I don't care.
Because people started to over scrutinize his shooting.
22. It's 22.
Oh,
What I
so
keep telling
what?
you, it's 2022.
So what? He's still
Um,
young as shit.
So I did watch the interview, and a couple things. I feel like JJ Reddick wasn't pressuring him like he usually pressures other people. I feel like he was being too nice, or he was coddling him a bit. I feel like in the interview, being that I think the mindset he took of it was he understands Ben Simmons has been through a lot, and he's been through enough emotional stress, and he didn't want to pressure him too much. But I feel like as an interviewer, you got to put your foot on their neck. You got to go in, get the spicy questions. I didn't like what Ben Simmons said about how in the moment he didn't know that was Trae Young. I'm going to be honest. I don't care who you thought it was. That excuse was piss poor to me. You are an NBA basketball player. You are the second star of that Philadelphia Sixers team. In no right mind is you passing the ball to one of the worst offensive players in the league a good play. I don't care what you thought it was. Passing the ball to Matisse Thybulle, you must have thought in your right mind it was a good play. It wasn't. No matter who was there in that possession, you dunked that ball. Don't care if it was Capella. Don't care if it was Collins, Trae Young, DeAndre Hunter.
I agree.
You dunked that ball.
I agree.
But the one thing I did take out of it was he said he was going to start to shoot more threes. He was more excited. He looked like he was enthusiastic about the upcoming season. He has a new number. He's really excited to get into this NBA
10.
season. I'm interested to see. I mean, it's all talk right now until we've seen it. Guys work on their game all year, and then they come in. They're the same player. Ben Simmons is probably the prime example of a guy who's been the same player for the last 4 or 5 seasons. So I'm excited to see what he's going to show us. I don't want to hear
But
him
you
talk.
love Wiggins?
I love Wiggins. I adore Wiggins.
That motherfucker was the same player for a decade.
He changed.
I loved him for 1 year. I didn't love him before that.
He just changed, Drew.
But
changed.
for the better though.
Hold on,
That's
hold
what
on.
he said.
Hold on.
But
hold on.
he waited
Hold on, Drew.
It took
before
him a
he,
long time
Drew.
to stop
Hold on,
taking
Drew.
hey,
Hey.
turnaround fades and
Hey,
mid posts.
Hey, Pee Wee.
Yes.
When did I start loving Wiggins?
Oh my gosh.
that wasn't a like a, oh my gosh, you got it. That's a oh my gosh, I'm embarrassed for you.
No, that's a fact though. When did I start loving Wiggins?
Yeah, when he came
So
to the Warriors.
When I seen what? Pee Wee? When I seen him do what?
With change.
When I seen the defense, when he locked your boy up in the finals, that's when I was like, I love this guy,
So,
man.
but before that, you weren't fucking with him because he had no growth. It was the same.
Same with Ben Simmons. Hated him.
But it's easy to change when you're playing with a team that won 72 games and is a part of a dynasty.
It's also, but this ain't a team this ain't a team that's as easy to play with as the Warriors. To be fair, this a whole different.
I'll let you know. Ben Simmons got traded to the Warriors.
If Ben Simmons got traded to the Warriors, I know. Trust me, I know he'd be a different vibe. But he ain't there. He with Steve Nash. He with Mr. ISO dribble tween Kyrie. He's with Kevin Durant. He's with a whole different crew. So this is gonna be a whole different dynamic. But that's how I feel about it.
I got one question for you though.
What, bro?
Out of what you just said,
What's up?
not with the Wiggins.
Oh, all right, what's up?
What did you want Ben Simmons to say about the Trey Young and the pass to Matisse? What do people want him to say? He fucked up. I mean, he explained. I don't think he was trying to justify it. He explained. JJ Reddick wanted to know what happened, and he told him.
I want him to stop thinking it was a good play. I really do. I
don't think he said that. He just explained the play.
No, he said, I thought it was a good read. He literally said that. And it was not a good read.
I mean, listen, how many times?
He said that, but then he also said that in hindsight, of course, he wished.
Yeah, of course, in hindsight, we look at the shit and it is wrong. But you in the playoffs. First of all, before that whole play, he wasn't playing good. So it's like, you got to know.
A lot of them weren't playing good. Joel Embiid had a game where he shot 4 of 20 and had 4 points in the second half.
You know that's facts too. How many times have we spoken about
it? Joel Embiid was very shitty.
Ben Simmons was at his worst, and he was still outscoring Tobias Harris in one of those games. Are we serious?
What game?
Why did Doc Rivers start the series by putting Danny Green on Trey Young when you have Ben Simmons? The Philadelphia 76ers as a whole fucked up that series. Everybody had a moment where they was god awful. Ben had his moments. Joel had a few moments. Tobias had a moment. Matisse had a moment.
Ben Simmons scored like a combined 6 points in 3 straight fourth quarters.
In one of those games, he outscored Tobias Harris. So if he was that bad and still found a way to outscore a $30 million
I'm not acknowledging Tobias Harris.
Why don't we talk about the $30 million?
Why are we talking about Tobias Harris? He's fucking mid. We know that. You know that. I know that. We know he shouldn't have got paid $30 million.
The Philadelphia 76ers depended on Tobias Harris. That's why we're going to talk about it.
That was mistake number one.
They looked at him.
But who's the second star? Who's the second star? What's his name?
Ben Simmons. But
okay,
who was the third?
It starts with Embiid. Wait, so it starts with Embiid. We already shitted on Embiid.
Who had a shitter?
We start, and then we get to that man right here because
Ben Simmons had his shitter.
And then
Tobias Harris.
What the fuck are we talking about Tobias Harris for?
Tobias Harris, we can't talk about him at that time. He wasn't an integral part. Facts.
Tobias Harris was the highest paid player.
We know that.
He chose him over Jimmy Butler. So we're going to hold him accountable. We're not going to sit up here and act like the 76ers lost because of Ben Simmons. All them motherfuckers had their moments. And that's why Joel Embiid trying to throw him under the bus with some bullshit. Doc Rivers too, because your ass steady getting out coached. Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about Doc skated, Joel skated, and they said, Ben Simmons, we're going to target you. You're going to be the guy that we blame because you can't do something that the NBA loves to see. And that's facts.
And I ain't gonna lie, Ben Simmons was bogus as hell in that series. But I'm saying
it was ass.
The idea.
I felt like you was trying to I'm not
he's just saying the idea that Ben Simmons was the only person at fault in that series is not
mind blowing.
Good. That's crazy. It's not correct. That's what he's saying.
I mean, he's gonna get the bulk of the blame for me.
He's just the easy target.
Because why?
Yeah, because he's the most obvious fuck up.
Because he can't shoot. Correct. That's
he didn't want to. He didn't want to. It's not. Yo, I'm not mad if you don't want to shoot a 3-pointer. He didn't want to go to the basket and take a layup, bro.
He made a bad play. He didn't make it.
He wasn't taking shot attempts for stretches, bro. I'm not mad he don't shoot threes. I can care less about that. Sometimes if you don't got it, you don't got it. There's certain people you don't want to take. It was certain stretches in that playoffs. He wasn't taking shots. He was just out there running around. That's the main.
He was facilitating the offense.
Huh?
He was facilitating the offense.
Should Clint Capella ever hold Joel Embiid to 4 of 20 shooting?
No.
4 of fucking 20. 4 of 20.
I mean, when Embiid's backpacking the offense,
4 of 20.
Bro, get out of here.
4 of 20.
Come on.
Okay, no, he should not. You're the one who told me Embiid was eating that series. Don't come in here with that.
He did have a great series.
So then what we do here?
No.
He had a bad game.
We can't say he had a great series in the fourth quarter. His field goal percentage was like under 25%.
Drew, hold up.
Pick a side. Pick a side.
Relax.
Pick a side.
Relax. The reason why I called you out on that was because
I said what?
You slid under the rug and be just, he went 4 for 20. If that's D'Angelo Russell, you're fucking slandering him.
Yes.
That's why.
So we are slandering Embiid.
Yes.
We're slandering Embiid.
Did I never? I've never slandered Embiid before.
No. Riv and I were very adamant on Embiid being mid and being overlooked.
So why are you defending him now?
That's all I'm saying.
No, I'm saying you. No, I'm saying
you're right.
Can't defend him.
He's right about this. You're not
because because I was the same person on here who was like Embiid was choking in the fourth quarter. You cannot sit up here and come here and defend him right now because you were the one telling telling me that Embiid played amazing that series.
He had a great series.
But we're specifically talking about the second half. You cannot defend him at all.
Riv, you're just losing me right now because here you're only reason you're losing me is because here you're really being hypercritical of Ben Simmons.
Because we're just talking about Ben Simmons.
We're not only, but that's
this
not
true,
true,
Ben Simmons interview.
Nah, but
we're talking about Ben Simmons.
No, we're talking about
but
the
a part
Philadelphia.
of Ben Simmons'
exactly.
story is Joel Embiid.
Absolutely.
So you want me to blame Joel Embiid too?
Yes.
Even though I've done it before.
But in this moment right
I will
now,
blame
you're
Joel
being
Embiid.
more hypercritical.
Because it's a Ben
Is it a
Simmons
50-50 blame
No.
or is it a 70-30, 60-40?
The Stars going to get most of the blame. So I'll give Embiid.
Because this isn't like the LeBron and D Wade where
But this is
LeBron was
what I'm
ass and
saying.
D
Before
Wade
you
was
give your
amazing.
percentages.
No, it was Embiid was mid and so was Ben.
Listen, the problem that I have
So
is
you want
that
me to give Embiid most of the blame?
No, I want Embiid to get
No.
That's
it's
not
not
what I'm
about
saying.
that. The problem that I had is that Pierre gave you a situation where Joel Embiid didn't play his best. In fact, he had his worst game of the series. Was he good in the series? Yes. But that particular game,
What game was that?
He had a bad game.
I can find that for you once. Give me literally
That
1
particular
second.
game, he
That
had a
was-
bad game. And when Pierre mentioned the splits, you brushed it off like it wasn't that big of a deal.
No, then I said after that,
That was game 4.
I said I was
game
fucking with
4.
you. He played like shit.
If they win,
How
that
much did
game,
Ben
they
have
go up
that game?
3-1. They go up 3-1.
How much
Let me
did
see
Ben
how
have
much
that
Ben
game?
had.
Just tell me how much the whole team had. Just
Okay, so in this particular game, Ben had 11 points. Joel had 17. Seth had 17. And Tobias had 20. This is one of Tobias' good games. Look at Tobias.
All right, Tobias. There we go. Can't be his
So now,
fault.
Simmons put-
Pierre, I want to ask you,
Ben
like,
Simmons plus minus 0. Joel plus minus 0 as well.
so Pierre, what was your main takeaway
So they were
from
evenly
this
dog shit.
Ben Simmons interview?
The main thing that I took away was that I think Ben don't have the hate that Philly has for him. That was the one thing that stuck out to me where he was like, people think I hate Philadelphia. I still have property there. My brother lives there. That's a part of my story. That's a part of where I'm from, essentially growing up in the NBA. And I like that for him. He didn't go in there playing the blame game. I didn't hear him say one negative thing about Joel Embiid. I didn't hear him say one negative thing about Doc Rivers. He answered the questions that were given to him. And he gave insight. He didn't bullshit some of those questions, like when Shaq came up. We're LSU brothers, and you didn't reach out to me that entire situation until it became. What did he say? What did Shaq say about him?
I know what you're talking about. I'm trying to think.
Yeah,
Shaq dissed
said,
him. Yeah, he dissed him. I just forgot what exactly he said.
Long story short, Shaq dissed him, but Ben's point was, if we LSU brothers, why you ain't check up on me? Why was your first thing to diss me instead of hitting me up, finding out the truth instead of what ESPN and I'm saying, find out the truth from the source's mouth, because I am your LSU brother who you can hit directly and checking in on me. Why was your first reaction to diss me if you really care about me like you say you do? And then he gave love to Jay Williams, who went out and said things about him, but later took things back, really checked in on him, and they had a real conversation, even if it wasn't exactly what Ben wanted to hear, or it wasn't he maybe wasn't kissing Ben ass, but at least they was
It's
able
a man.
to have
It's a man
some
conversation.
type of
Exactly.
man-to-man conversation. And I think that's all Ben wanted, was to be able to have a chance to be able to express himself to people and tell his side, but he didn't, because it automatically was Ben's the blame. Fuck Ben. Look how Ben's handling. Everything was Ben. And through the process, he didn't say shit. To be honest, it was all speculation. We ain't like Ben put out a tweet or he had an exclusive interview, which is all speculation if you go back and look. And as a Ben Simmons fan, I'm not trying to defend him. He had a lot of things that happened during that situation that I didn't personally agree with. My whole thing is, when people sit there and try to pretend that Ben is the reason they lost that series, I can't agree with that. Because if I break down the game by game in that entire series, there is going to be points where Doc has some bad shit, Tobias has some bad shit, Joel has some bad shit, and Ben has some bad shit. And as a collective, the Philadelphia 76ers shitted the bed and they lost the series by one game. That's why I bring up Joel Embiid. If Joel Embiid has a better game that particular game, they maybe win this. They don't, not maybe. They definitely win that game.
We sat here and we said this series should have been over in 5. This series should have been won by the 76ers in 5.
Yeah, the Hawks had a fluke run.
whether that's fact or fiction, we can sit here and admit that Sixers should have never put themselves in that situation, let alone lose the series.
What I will say about the Ben
Can't
Simmons
just be one
interview,
player, and that's why it happened.
A takeaway that I took from the interview was when JJ asked Ben Simmons about his jump shot, and Ben does a lot of great things outside of shooting. That's true. Bless you.
Thank you.
But what I wasn't the biggest fan of is when Ben was talking about, all people talk about is, I don't shoot when I do so many other amazing things. And then I started to think about players that aren't great shooters and they do other great things. Main one that came to mind was Draymond Green. I don't think anybody criticizes Draymond heavily because he attempts it. Like, I think the main criticism of Ben, and this is where I think he wasn't on the money with what he said, and I wish JJ would have checked him on it, was, well, yeah, Ben, people aren't mad that you're not a good shooter. People are annoyed that you don't attempt it. That's what they're annoyed with you're fucking wide open and you don't attempt a shot. That's what people are mad at. They're not mad at the fact that you can't shoot, that you shoot 30% from three. They're not mad at that. It's the fact that you don't attempt any at all. And that limits the offense tremendously.
You're right.
Because now you don't have to be guarded.
Yeah.
That's the main thing that I took away from that in terms of that segment. The interview itself, I think it's very odd how fickle people are and how public perception can change entirely around you within one open conversation. Ben Simmons, after the playoff series, was chastised throughout this entire regular season.
Oh my God.
His name was thrown in the dirt. His name was thrown into the absolute dirt to the point that people thought he was one of the worst basketball players. At least you would think that he was, given how people were talking about him.
You included.
And now, not me included. I know Ben is a good player. I never said he was trash. I never said Ben was a trash player. When I say Ben was a trash player.
When I first got onto the show, the big joke was that I was the Ben stan.
Because you said Ben was Giannis.
That's not what I said. That's not what I said.
Is that not what he said, Riv?
Riv, come on. You could laugh at the joke, but I never said that. He needs to play like Giannis is what I said.
That's
he needs
why
to have
we
the
laugh.
mindset of Giannis.
No, that's why we laugh.
That is 100% fact.
I used to say the same type of shit.
Man,
I used to think that if he had his own team, he could have been similar to Giannis without Joel Embiid crowding up the space. We're long removed from that.
He had the mentality. I agree. He doesn't have it. We're far removed.
At that point, like Pierre said, we were long removed from that. Like that.
He probably said that like 2018. You said that last year.
No, that's.
Oh yeah, you wild. You wild.
That was 2 years ago.
No, that was like last year, bro. I swear to God, that was
Niggas,
when we were.
That was after the Hawks playoffs.
That was like last year.
Yeah,
correct.
He might have just signed with HOH.
You said that just last year.
No, but I didn't say that. I said
no,
he
needed
should
to have
it.
Pierre, that was when they were still picking between Simmons and Embiid. That was at that time.
So that's when Pierre was saying that if you put a team around him
he
as well.
he said that a minute ago, like
when Ben was like
when
in
we
his second
first signed
year.
to HOH, I said KB ain't have a house. He lived in an apartment. He ain't had dreads.
You still on that
I didn't
train.
have
Just back to the point.
I will still say right now in 2022, if he was just aggressive, because that's what Giannis is. He's aggressive.
Agreed.
That's all I wanted him to be.
Ultimately,
I never said anything more than that.
The point I'm trying to make is that his reputation was tarnished throughout this entire. His reputation was tarnished through this entire process, and as soon as this interview with JJ came out, I see the TikTok clips, I see the YouTube comments. I'm just reading the comments to see what the reaction around this interview is, and everybody's saying, "Man, I wish I knew this, man. Ben Simmons is such a great dude." And I'm just there I
respect you.
Wow.
For standing to your
initial.
Exactly.
And I'm just there like, wow. In 1 year's time, not saying, I have no way of knowing if those commenters are the same ones that bashed Ben, but I'm under the assumption they probably were. Yeah. In 1 year's time, Ben goes from being public enemy number one to now being somebody who everybody is now sympathizing for, which I'm totally fine with. But the energy should have been kept the same throughout this entire process.
I think the energy is there. I ran into people that was keeping that same energy.
Yeah, I never.
Why are they keeping that same energy? I don't know. They're 76er fans, but the internet is they're followers. And I don't think the Philadelphia 76ers get enough blame for the Ben Simmons not taking shots.
Agreed.
You cannot come play for my team and not shoot and still play. We would have checked that your rookie year. A player is only going to do what they're allowed to do. And the Philadelphia 76ers is very funny in the light. Joel Embiid had a lot of bad habits until he fixed them himself when he had a child, and he took shit more serious. The Markelle situation is definitely funny. The Ben Simmons situation is definitely funny. So Philadelphia, they ain't the best.
The Jimmy Butler
just
situation is definitely funny.
Oh no, Jimmy explained that.
Yeah,
He said it was him or Brett. They picked Brett.
That's the dumbest shit ever.
So I'm just saying again, Ben Simmons is my boy, but he's not my boy enough to exempt him from all of his faults.
Agreed.
But the entire situation, and I've been a part of this since before Ben was out of Philly. Like, he must leave. I'm talking about before that playoff series. A lot of the shit has just been solely Ben, but it takes two to tango when you're talking about NBA and why a player does this and why he doesn't. I agree. Him not shooting at all has always been my biggest thing. Motherfucker, that's disrespectful for nigga give you that much space. Nigga, Andre Drummond is shooting threes. You better shoot. You better do something. But again, if I'm a coach and Riv is not shooting, I'm sitting them down. Yo, Riv. We getting to the point where if you don't shoot it, I'm not gonna have to play you. Oh, okay. You thought I was playing. Come here. Go get his ass. He ain't shoot. Come here. Sit down for 5 minutes. Something has to happen to where we gonna fix that. And Philadelphia had a lot of moments throughout this process that's glaring for how they handle their players. Unless you're Joel Embiid, who's just gonna take shit into your own hands. Because I'll give Joel Embiid that credit. But when he was drinking 18 Shirley Temples a day, did Philadelphia come and do anything, or did Joel Embiid just grow up and say, I'm going to stop doing that? I don't know. Do we ever know what happened to Markelle Fultz? Do anybody ever know? Or is it just still speculation?
Didn't he have the shoulder pinch?
Yeah.
How? Where did it come? Was it the motorcycle?
I don't know.
Philly.
Honestly.
Yeah.
We never have an answer. But,
Fultz is a fine young man now.
Yeah, yes. And, I think you make an excellent point. Philly definitely looks bad in this situation. Everybody's at fault in this situation. I feel like I do feel like Joel Embiid is somebody that the microscope is on him now, because after
I'm telling you right now.
He hasn't made an ECF, and I feel like
Drew, I'm telling you right now. Well, first, Ben Simmons, I never knocked his character, just everything strictly basketball. All that shit, that not shooting shit. Come on, man up. Number 2, Embiid.
I agree.
I'm telling you how this shit right now. If he don't make a conference finals, we need to stop putting him in all the best player in the world, even trying to sneak him in them shit.
It won't happen.
Yeah, he not getting in there for me if he don't make at least the conference finals.
This is what I was going to say, though. Joel Embiid and Doc Rivers, after they lost to the Hawks, they threw Ben under the bus.
Sure.
100%. Didn't a similar situation happen these past playoffs when they lost in the second round to the Heat?
Blame James Harden.
And he
got
said,
the blame.
And he said, yeah, Harden's just not the same player. Stop expecting him to be the same guy.
Like, what kind of leader is Embiid?
Embiid's not a leader, though.
And after that playoff series, I said that I hated those comments from Embiid.
Facts.
And he at least there doesn't showcase to be a leader. That's why I love the PJ Tucker move, because PJ Tucker is a leader.
Yeah,
he's going to check shit in that locker room. They need somebody like that.
Yeah.
Joel Embiid is too loose, and he's not a leader, in my opinion.
What were you going to say, P?
No, they show that is becoming James Harden team, Daniel House, and them. They gonna put Joel Embiid in the head like he says some slick shit again.
They gonna jump him.
But yeah, and Embiid not gonna ever lose that shit, because they love Embiid, and I like him too. But he's that traditional big in a league full of guys who shoot. They like that shit. So I ain't heard one person say he better make the Eastern Conference Final. Who y'all hearing that from? Besides y'all just saying it now, has anybody talked like that against Joel Embiid? I don't be hearing the Joel Embiid criticism.
No, doesn't exist.
It used to be when he was injury prone, but now since he's been healthy and killing, I don't hear shit.
That's it. They're whining and crying because he doesn't have the MVP. Facts.
He need to get there or get he need to do something.
Well, we know James Harden's there now, so he's gonna lead the way.
Word.
For sure.
Word.
Gonna lead the way.
Yeah, I think Philly gonna be tough though. I do.
Definitely.
And now Boston's dropping off.
We don't know that they're dropping off yet, though.
You know what would be fire?
What?
Sixers, Brooklyn, Eastern Conference Finals.
That would be dope. And Harden comes out on top and wins a championship?
No, and Ben Simmons dunk on Embiid to win it.
Yo, that would be
There's a lot of
crazy.
unrealistic shit going on right now.
No. To make it more unrealistic, if Ben Simmons ISO step back 3 over to win the series in 7 games.
What's your outlook on Ben's stat line this year? What's it looking like?
I think 15, 8-8.
15-8.
Yeah, that sounds about
I'm
right.
sick of that shit.
I would love 20 though.
I would
love
20. Can I like if he gets 20, Drew, I swear to God on my
Yo, apologize to me.
fucking an apology. I'll buy you 50 Ben Simmons jerseys
Tough.
if he get 20 points a
Tough.
game. I swear to God on everything. I'll pay for you to go to a Brooklyn game.
All right.
I'll pay you a playoff game if he
All
gets
right.
20 points a game for a season. I really promise you that. That's how confident
right.
I know he ain't gonna do that shit.
Okay.
Like, I just know he not
The
gonna
good
do it.
news is that Ben Simmons did say that he would start shooting, but he kind of did say it sarcastically, so I don't know if it's
I
going to
just
happen
want
or not.
him just go to the basket. Why you bro?
This is going to do it for episode 213 of the Pick a Side podcast.
Give a round of applause for the guy. Pick a side.
Thank
P,
you,
man.
Pierre, for being on the show, man. You know you're
Thank
always
y'all.
welcome on the Pick a Side podcast.
Throw some respect on his name.
Throw some respect on Ben Simmons' name. I'm respecting in these streets.
Pierre, as always, do you want to give a shout out to anything? Now's your time.
I want to give a shout out to y'all, man. Congrats again.
He sound like me. He said
with
the
Blue
same
Wire
shit
stuff.
at the end.
Much love to y'all for having me. Y'all keep killing. Y'all keep climbing them charts, going crazy. And yeah, man, I'm ready for the season, bro. I feel like this off season so long, especially with this Ime news now and late trades. You feel me? Like, I don't know. I'm just ready for.
You
the
know
season,
what?
bro.
If P's gonna be humble, I'll do my due diligence. Tune into Through the Wire, absolutely a top 10 sports podcast right now. Tune into Pierre's personal Twitch stream. He streams all types of games, NBA. You got 2K. He was telling me he plays this college game. He could do a better job of explaining that himself.
College football revamp, man.
There
They know
you
what
go.
that is.
There you go. Tune into his channel. You know P.
I got a question.
He's that guy. Go ahead.
When I be like, shout out to the fans, shout out to y'all, he do the same
Nah,
shit.
but
Y'all don't
it's
say
different.
nothing to
It's
him.
different. He's shouting us out. He's giving us our credit. You, when you're addressing our fans, say the same shit on loop. Nah, this is different.
What
This
he
is
be
different.
saying?
Nah, this is Riv every single time, 10 out of 10 times. Yo, just want to say, shout out to the fans. Love y'all. That's it. Every single time.
Hey, real funny because he be eating on the show. I remember y'all did like a draft stream or
Yep.
something. Nigga had some Chinese food, banging that shit.
Nah,
during
the live stream was
McDonald's
valid.
cookies.
Yeah, no, that was
Banging
killing me. He was trying to be low with that too.
I be hungry.
That motherfuckers
bro.
look good too. I might have to go to McDonald's.
Hey, you know McDonald's got the best cookies, bro. Come on.
They do though. They
Are
really
they better
do
than
though.
Subway?
I don't eat Subway.
Okay,
personally.
neither do I.
They not
but-
better than Potbelly's though. Potbelly's got the
We
best
don't know what
cookies,
that is, bro.
actually. Y'all don't know what Potbelly's is? It's in
No.
New York.
Is it?
Yo,
It's worldwide, but it's in New
Let me
York.
explain this to you. From 148th to 132nd, anything past 132nd, I don't know what you're talking about. So if it's downtown,
I'll be on 40th and Lenox.
look, what?
I'm just talking shit.
I was like, what? That's not even. You be downtown eating that food. I don't know what that is. I
Yeah, I'd definitely be down.
Yeah, I don't know what none of that is.
You can follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Pick a Side Podcast, on Twitter at Pick a Side Pod. Thank you guys for listening and or watching, and we'll see you next time.